Chapter 905. Tang Ao, let's go. While Tang Ao was searching for Qing Xiao, her pale face suddenly appeared in front of Tang Ao. Tang Ao saw that there were some blood stains on her blue dress, and there was even a trace of blood at the corner of her mouth. Right then, Tang Ao wished he could kill Bing Feng himself. But Tang Ao knew that he was not Bing Feng's opponent right now. Therefore, Tang Ao did not hesitate and only nodded solemnly. Bing Feng, remember what you did to Qing Xiao today. I will pay you back 10 times in the future. As Tang Ao said this, a beam of white teleportation light wrapped up Qing Xiao and Tang Ao. Then, the white light flashed once, and Tang Ao and Qing Xiao's figures disappeared as well. Waiting until the dust settled, everyone looked toward the center of the battlefield and saw Bing Feng's shocked face. Right then, Bing Feng did not have that carefree look anymore. On his face, there was a bone-deep wound. If this wound had been a little deeper, half of his head would have been gone. Even though the truth was right in front of them, everyone still could not believe that the quiet girl next to Tang Ao had this kind of horrifying power. It should be known that Bing Feng was not a normal person, but one of the top 10 warriors in the Winter Plain. What was the top 10 warriors? As long as the other 9 warriors did not join in, Bing Feng would be invincible in the Winter Plain. However, right now, Bing Feng had almost died here. No matter how powerful he was, if half of his head was cut off, he would be dead for sure. Looking at the place where Tang Ao and Qing Xiao had disappeared, Bing Feng's arm slightly shook. The false reputation of being one of the top 10 powerhouses almost cost him his life this time. Ever since he had been listed as one of the top 10 warriors, besides facing the other 9 warriors, Bing Feng had never revealed his real power. This time, after seeing that Qing Xiao was only at the 6th level of the Sea of Souls realm, he did not care about her at all. Therefore, he did not even use the 6th level of his power. However, what shocked Bing Feng the most was that Qing Xiao's final attack wasn't much weaker than his all-out attack. However, he was already a martial artist at the peak of the 9th floor of Linghai Jing, while Qing Xiao was only at the 6th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. In that case, Qing Xiao's final secret technique was too terrifying. Of course, he hesitated at the last moment. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been injured so badly. 500 kilometers away, 2 figures suddenly appeared in the sky above a vast mountain range. Then, they fell to the ground. They were none other than Tang Ao and Qing Xiao, who had used their teleportation talismans to escape. Tang Ao carried the unconscious Qing Xiao and landed on the ground. After landing, Tang Ao hurriedly sent his soul power into Qing Xiao's body. After sensing Qing Xiao's injuries, Tang Ao's expression turned extremely cold. Qing Xiao and Bing Feng had no enmity with each other, but Bing Feng had done such a thing to Qing Xiao. If it weren't for Tang Ao standing beside Qing Xiao, she would have died without a doubt. After checking Qing Xiao's injuries, Tang Ao took out a great lotus pellet without hesitation and fed it to Qing Xiao. At the same time, Tang Ao started to condense his thin soul power, guiding the J-Bone life spirit into Qing Xiao's body to repair her damaged meridians. This time, Qing Xiao's injuries were extremely serious. Her internal organs were all injured by the lightning, and her meridians were also frozen. Half an inch above Qing Xiao's heart, a lightning bolt had even pierced through it. If it had gone down half an inch, Qing Xiao's heart would have shattered. Chapter 906. Oh no! Tang Ao's expression changed. Sensing Qing Xiao's increasingly chaotic spirit energy and his nearly exhausted soul power, Tang Ao suddenly panicked. Because of the J-Bone Life Soul, Tang Ao did not refine any pills that could guide his spirit energy to circulate normally. Even when he refined the Great Lotus Pill, Tang Ao rarely used it. The Great Lotus Pill was a top-notch 6th-grade healing pill. It could heal any external injuries, even damage to the soul. However, as the saying goes, nothing is perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect. The Great Lotus Pill was a 6th-grade healing pill, but did not have the effect of guiding a cultivator's spirit energy to circulate normally. This caused the spirit energy in Qing Zhao's body to go berserk when Tang Ao's soul power ran out. The rampaging spirit energy continuously damaged Qing Zhao's body, but the Great Lotus Pill's medicinal effect continuously healed her body. Thus, Qing Zhao was constantly suffering from injuries and healing. Although she was unconscious, the pain in her body still made Qing Zhao pout. Seeing Qing Zhao in such a state because of him, Tang Ao blamed himself. At the same time, he yearned to recover his strength, not to mention recovering to the life and death realm. As long as Tang Ao could recover to the 9th level of the Sea of Souls realm, he would be able to sweep through the top 10 experts. But now, there was no trace of spirit energy in Tang Ao's body, let alone the 9th floor of Linghai Jing. Other than having a strong body and soul power, Tang Ao was like an ordinary person who had never cultivated. But unlike ordinary people who had never cultivated, Tang Ao's meridians could guide spirit energy at any time. But because his spiritual sea was shattered, Tang Ao's body could not store any spirit energy. Sensing his injuries, Tang Ao could not help but think of the past. Xiahou Quangtian and a group of life and death experts had set up an ambush and used a spatial restriction to trap Tang Ao. If Dongxian Yi hadn't arrived in time to destroy the spatial restriction, Tang Ao would have died on the spot. Although Tang Ao had used the Space Jade Talisman to escape, half a year had passed in the blink of an eye, and Tang Ao had yet to recover from his injuries. At the same time, Tang Ao was also worried about Dongxuan. Although Tang Ao had given the true martial seal and a Space Jade Talisman to Dongxuan before he escaped, Tang Ao did not know whether Dongxuan had escaped or not. In the Seven Kills sect, half a year had passed since the Netherworld Emperor Mystic Realm trial. In this Netherworld Emperor Mystic Realm trial, all the sect had their gains and losses. However, the Seven Kills sect's losses were undoubtedly the greatest. Due to their relationship with Tang Ao and Dongxian Yi, the Seven Kills sect could be said to be the biggest winner. However, there was still no news of these two people who had reaped great benefits in the Netherworld Emperor's mystic realm for half a year. The Space Jade Talisman that Tang Ao had given Dongxuan was the same as the one that Tang Ao used himself. It had been personally refined by Yun Xiaoyao. Tang Ao had been sent to the snow plains by the Space Jade Talisman, and Dongxuan had also been sent to a special place. In the wilderness, Tang Ao could feel Qing Zhao's body getting colder and colder. Qing Zhao was already severely injured, and under such torture, she naturally could not take it anymore. Although Tang Ao had a lot of spirit herbs on him, Tang Ao felt a little hopeless after checking them all. This was because the spirit herbs on him could not be used to refine elixirs that could guide spiritual energy. Tang Ao, I'm so cold. Can you hug me? Just as Tang Ao was secretly panicking, Qing Zhao's weak voice suddenly sounded. Chapter 907. While Tang Ao was carrying Qing Zhao, Tang Ao didn't notice a black shadow slowly approaching them. It was a black wolf, and not far from it, there was a group of people walking casually. He seems to have found his prey. A short youth in the group grinned. Although he was a youth, there seemed to be a bloodthirsty glint in his eyes. There were 2 wolves in the 9 top-notch tribes in the snow plains. One of them was the Sky Wolf tribe, which was ranked 1st, while the other was the Blood Wolf tribe, which was ranked 7th. Although the Blood Wolf tribe was ranked 7th, their strength couldn't be underestimated. Among the 9 top-notch tribes, other than the Sky Wolf tribe, which was slightly stronger than the other 8 tribes didn't have a huge disparity in strength. When Heya came within 30 feet of him, Tang Ao suddenly discovered Heya's presence. Without much time to think, Tang Ao carried Qing Zhao and leaped up the moment his soul power touched Heya. However, just as Tang Ao was in midair, Tang Ao felt a tearing pain in his head. If Tang Ao hadn't forced out the remaining soul power in his body and summoned the Battle Sagebone Life Soul at the critical moment, Tang Ao's head would have been smashed to pieces. After suffering such a heavy blow, Tang Ao instantly fell to the ground. Shui Kun looked at Tang Ao before looking at his palm. He seemed to be puzzled as to why his bloody palm didn't smash Tang Ao's head to pieces. Although Shui Kun's palm didn't kill Tang Ao still felt dizzy from Shui Kun's slap. Wow, what a beautiful person. At this moment, Shui Kun also noticed Qing Xiao, who was in Tang Ao's arms. Although her face was pale, it couldn't conceal her beauty. When Shui Kun saw Qing Xiao, he couldn't help but reach out to grab her. Although Tang Ao was a little dizzy, he struggled to get up and took a few steps back when he saw Shui Kun trying to offend Qing Xiao. I don't know you at all. Why must you force me? If it were not for the fact that Tang Ao did not have the power to fight back, Tang Ao would definitely leave a shadow in this first-level sea of Soul's Realm Brat's memory. Leave this beauty behind, and you can scram. There isn't a single trace of spiritual power in your body. I don't like your blood. Just now, Tang Ao felt that the aura of the young man in front of him was a little chaotic. After hearing the young man's words, Tang Ao immediately understood that this young man was an evil cultivator in the Black-Yellow continent. However, on the Winter Plain, people worshipped strength and did not have the concept of heretic cultivators. As long as you were strong, your words were the truth and the rules. This is my junior sister. She's injured and can't go with you. Tang Ao took out a space jade talisman and secretly gathered his spiritual power to activate it. Although what he said just now was very sullen, Tang Ao did not dare to anger Shui Kun. For the sake of Qing Xiao's safety, Tang Ao could let go of his pride. Space Jade Talisman? Interesting, it seems like you want to run. Since that's the case, you should reward my pet. Shui Kun scanned with his soul power and saw the Space Jade Talisman that Tang Ao had hidden behind him. The instant he finished his words, Heya, who was standing on the side, suddenly attacked towards Tang Ao's throat. Bastard Scram. Although he could not use his spiritual power right now, Tang Ao was not someone that a blood wolf at the third level of the Origin Martial Realm could offend. Chapter 908. At this moment, Tang Ao felt like his body was about to fall apart. First, they had encountered the Ice Mountain. Left with no choice, Tang Ao and Qing Xiao had used the Space Jade Talisman to come here. After arriving, Qing Xiao had yet to recover from her injuries, but she had encountered Shui Kun and his group. If Qing Xiao was not injured, this group of people would not be a threat to her at all. What a tough life you have. You're still alive. Shui Kun looked at Tang Ao, who was half sitting on the ground. Blood chi surged from his body, and a blood saber appeared in his hand. The evil aura from the blood saber made Tang Ao uncomfortable. Although this blood saber was condensed from Shui Kun's blood chi, Tang Ao could see that there were hundreds of souls trapped within the blood saber through the sky-polar eyes. In other words, to cultivate this blood saber, at least 100 lives would be needed. Moreover, according to Tang Ao's experience, this evil blood saber could not be cultivated in 1 or 2 tries. Moreover, once this blood saber was cultivated, its power would be horrifying. This is the Blood Soul Saber. If you can survive 1 slash from it, I will let you guys go. Shui Kun looked at Tang Ao lying on the ground and said mockingly, even a normal Sea of Souls realm martial artist would be dead after being slashed by the Blood Soul Saber. There was no spiritual power fluctuation from Tang Ao's body. Clearly, he was a weak martial artist. If he was slashed by the Blood Soul Saber, he would probably turn into a puddle of water. Feeling the evil fluctuation from the Blood Soul Saber, Tang Ao's eyes narrowed. Even now, Tang Ao still had one last option, and that was to hide in the chaotic hexagram mirror space. However, Tang Ao did not want to do so. It was not because Tang Ao was worried about exposing the existence of the chaotic hexagram mirror, but because the rules within the chaotic hexagram mirror were incomplete. Only Tang Ao could enter. Other than Tang Ao, no one else would be accepted by the chaotic hexagram mirror space. Therefore, Tang Ao couldn't bring Qing Xiao into the chaotic 6-light mirror space. If they hid in the chaotic 6-light mirror space, Tang Ao's life would be saved, but Qing Zhao's life would be in danger. Qing Zhao had become like this because of Tang Ao. Tang Ao wasn't a heartless person, so he would absolutely not abandon Qing Zhao to seek survival by himself. I can smell the stench from afar. So it's you guys from the Snow Wolf tribe. A clear girl's voice sounded. From the other side of the woods, a group of people leisurely walked over. The leader of this group was a young girl who was about the same age as Xue Kun. Not only her age, even her cultivation base was the same as Xue Kun, third layer of Sea of Soul Realm. Yeah, I see you everywhere I go. Now that your sister isn't around, I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to leave. Xue Kun sneered when he saw who it was. This group of people was from the Silver Moon tribe. The Silver Moon tribe and the Blood Wolf tribe were mortal enemies. Back then, the Silver Moon tribe and the Blood Wolf tribe were competing for the third top tribe position in the Ice Snow Plains. In the end, the Blood Wolf tribe was ranked 7th among the top 9 tribes, while the Silver Moon tribe was ranked 4th. Apart from that competition, the hatred between the two tribes had been going on for a long time. Therefore, whenever the people from the two tribes met, there would always be a battle. Little dog, your brother isn't here this time. Even if you want to die, it won't be that easy. Facing Xue Kun's training, Lu Feifei didn't want to be outdone. Chapter 909. Tang Ao looked at Xue Kun and realized that Xue Kun was looking behind him from time to time. At the same time, Xue Kun's soul power was enveloping the area behind him, as if he was waiting for something. Tang Ao looked at Lu Feifei and realized that Lu Feifei's situation was similar to Xue Kun's. She seemed to be waiting for someone too. Could it be that experts from both sides are rushing over? Just as Tang Ao had this thought, a gentle and virtuous young lady appeared beside Lu Feifei. The lady looked very similar to Lu Feifei, but her mature and elegant temperament was undoubtedly more attractive. Seeing this beautiful lady, Tang Ao's eyes narrowed. Another top-notch expert from the 9th floor of Linghai Jing. Lu Rushi. Xue Kun's expression changed when he saw Lu Rushi, and he couldn't help but take 2 steps back. When the others heard that this beautiful lady was one of the top 10 experts in the Winter Plains, their bodies trembled. Xue Shi, since you're here, why are you hiding? Lu Rushi looked at Xue Kun coldly before speaking in a direction. Tang Ao's soul power had been enveloping the entire area, but Tang Ao didn't discover anyone. Therefore, Tang Ao's gaze followed the direction that Lu Rushi was looking at. It was a somewhat dark thicket. Under Tang Ao's gaze, there was nothing else there other than darkness. Darkness. Tang Ao's heart skipped a beat, and he looked in that direction with the help of the heavenly polar eyes. Indeed, under the gaze of the heavenly polar eyes, a dark red figure gradually appeared in the darkness. Following the appearance of this figure, the forest was instantly filled with a nauseating smell of blood. Tang Ao looked over and saw a young man in a blood-red robe. The young man was holding a dead snake in his hand. This snake hadn't been dead for long, but there wasn't a single trace of blood on its body. Lu Rushi, don't you know that I hate it when people disturb me when I'm eating? Xue Shi threw the dead snake away and licked his lips while looking at Lu Rushi and her sister. Cut the crap, do it. Although Lu Rushi was gentle and virtuous, she had nothing to say to the people of the Blood Wolf tribe. Previously, the two tribes had wanted to fight as soon as they met. This time, they had spoken enough words. Wait, I'm not full yet. I'll fight you after I'm full. Xue Shi glanced at Qing Xiao, who was in Tang Ao's embrace. An evil light immediately radiated from his eyes as he walked towards Tang Ao. Tang Ao felt somewhat bitter in his heart. In a few breaths' time, Tang Ao would have been able to activate the spatial jade talisman. However, Xue Shi just had to walk over at this time. Even so, Tang Ao did not give up on activating the space jade talisman. Xue Shi and Lu Rushi were both peak-level Sea of Souls realm warriors. In front of these kind of warriors, Tang Ao did not have the power to fight back at all. Not to mention Lu Rushi and Xue Shi. Even Xue Kun and Lu Feifei were not people that Tang Ao could handle. Although they were not as powerful as Lu Rushi and Shui, the power of the third level of the Sea of Souls realm should not be underestimated. Do it! Lu Rushi did not wait for Shui to attack Qing Xiao. Her body flashed, and a colorful ribbon flew towards Shui. Second brother, take this girl away. She should taste pretty good. Shui blocked Lu Rushi's attack as he said to Shui Kuan, who was behind him. Hearing his big brother's order, Shui Kuan immediately charged towards Tang Ao. Don't even think about it. Lu Feifei blocked him immediately. Chapter 9-10. Although Tang Ao was unable to use his spiritual power, Tang Ao still had many tricks up his sleeves. At this moment, Tang Ao was preparing to set up a fifth-grade array to properly entertain the Blood Wolf tribe. While the two groups were fighting, Tang Ao carried Qing Xiao to a safe place. Soon after, Tang Ao took out array flags and started setting them up in the forest. Setting up a special grade, 5th grade spiritual array required a lot of time, but Tang Ao did not have that much time. Moreover, Tang Ao was not going to set up a special grade 5th grade killing array, but a simple 5th grade confinement array. As Tang Ao threw out array flags, formless waves swept out in the forest. However, these waves were very weak, and if one did not observe carefully, they would not be able to detect them. At this moment, the battle between the two sides was in full swing, so it was naturally impossible to observe carefully. Although Shui and Lu Rushi noticed the special waves in the forest because the waves were too weak, the two of them did not pay much attention to it. When Tang Ao saw that the two strongest people on the field did not have much of a reaction, he could not help but smile. Although the two of them were quite strong, their array skills were too lacking. They were completely unaware that they were trapped by a 5th grade confinement array. Although it was not intentional, the Silver Moon tribe had indeed helped Tang Ao once. Therefore, when Tang Ao trapped the two tribes, he did not think of making things difficult for the Silver Moon tribe. Right now, Tang Ao was only setting up a lower 5th grade confinement array. Although it had reached the 5th grade, due to the lack of time, its power was limited. Therefore, Tang Ao was preparing to continue perfecting the array without the two of them noticing. Once it became a middle 5th grade, or even a high-grade confinement array, Shui would lose a layer of skin even if he did not die. As the array flags in Tang Ao's hand continued to fall, the waves of the array became more and more intense. When the waves of the array reached a certain level, Lu Rushi and Shui both stopped at the same time. Lu Rushi said in a gentle voice, "I don't know which formation master our Silver Moon tribe offended. He wants to use a grade 5 trap formation to trap our people." At this moment, Tang Ao had upgraded the initial low-grade trap array to a high-grade trap array. At the same time, Tang Ao had also set up a mid-grade kill array within the high-grade trap array. Wanting to kill Shui, who was at the peak of the Sea of Souls realm, with this kind of spell was still a bit unrealistic. But besides Shui, no one else in the Blood Wolf tribe would be able to leave this place alive. Tang Ao hid in the forest and waved the array flag. Suddenly, many beams of light appeared in the array. These beams of light covered all the people of the Silver Moon tribe. Then, with a flash of white light, they were teleported out of the array. Upon seeing this scene, Shueisha's expression became somewhat ugly. This trap and kill array was not targeted at the Silver Moon tribe, but at the Blood Wolf tribe. I don't know which formation master my Blood Wolf tribe had offended. Shueisha also wanted to ask which formation master the Blood Wolf tribe had offended. But before he could finish his question, countless blades from the trap and kill array attacked towards Shueisha. This kind of attack could not do anything to Shueisha, but the other people of the Blood Wolf tribe were quickly sliced into pieces by the invisible blade light. Who is it? Shueisha carried Shui Kun, who was on the verge of death, with one hand as he roared toward the surroundings. Suddenly, Shueisha felt that the waves of the array had a source, and this source was pointing toward the depths of the forest. Without hesitation, Shueisha was about to tear apart the trap and kill array and rush toward Tang Ao. However, The ways of the array had been purposely leaked by Tang Ao in order to lure Shueisha over. Chapter 9:11. Seeing that Tang Ao and Qing Xiao were about to disappear in the white light, Shueisha bellowed, and a blood arrow shot toward Qing Xiao. This blood arrow had a pungent stench, and at the same time, there was an aura of death. After spitting out this blood arrow, Shueisha's aura weakened by 30%. From this, it could be seen how powerful this blood arrow was. Facing this blood arrow, Tang Ao did not dare to be careless. However, with Tang Ao's current state, there was only one way to block this blood arrow. After hesitating for half a second, Tang Ao threw the Shinnon Cauldron. Dang! After the blood arrow hit the Shinnon Cauldron, a buzzing sound was heard. As for Tang Ao and Qing Xiao, they were enveloped by the white light of the teleportation talisman and completely disappeared. However, Tang Ao's Shinnon Cauldron was left in the forest. What a good treasure! It can actually block my 3-inch blood arrow. Shueisha looked at the Shinnon Cauldron with greed in his eyes. However, before Shueisha could make a move to snatch the Shinnon Cauldron, Lu Rushi waved her hand and hooked the Shinnon Cauldron into her hand. Tang Ao and Tang Ao had noticed Lu Rushi when she first arrived. However, Qing Xiao was unconscious, and Tang Ao's body did not have any strong spiritual fluctuations, so Lu Rushi did not notice them. What Lu Rushi did not expect was that these two unremarkable people actually had a 5th grade array grandmaster. At the same time, they also had such a powerful treasure on them. Even she could only dodge Shueisha's 3-inch blood arrow. She did not dare to take it head-on. However, Tang Ao casually threw out a large cauldron and blocked Shueisha's 3-inch blood arrow. Lu Rushi, hand over the large cauldron and I will let you go. Shueisha did not expect Lu Rushi to move so quickly. He had not even made a move, and Lu Rushi had already snatched the Shinnon Cauldron. This large cauldron can easily block the 3-inch blood arrow that you're so proud of. Do you think it is a question of you letting me go, or me letting you go? Although Lu Rushi said this, she really did not want to be entangled with Shueisha. The two of them were equally matched. If Shueisha was determined to leave, she would not be able to stop him. Although many of Shueisha's men had been injured by Tang Ao, the most important thing was that Shueisha's injuries were not serious. Compared to Shueisha, Lu Rushi was currently more interested in Tang Ao. The mysterious 5th grade array master could casually take out a treasure that could block Shueisha's 3-inch blood arrow. Based on this, Lu Rushi's understanding of Tang Ao was obviously wrong. Firstly, Tang Ao was a grade 6 spiritual array master. The reason why he didn't set up a grade 6 spiritual array was because Tang Ao's injuries were too severe. Otherwise, once the grade 6 trap and kill formation was set up, none of Shueisha and the others would be able to escape. Secondly, the Shinnon Cauldron was not a treasure that Tang Ao could casually take out. If not for the fact that he had no other choice, Tang Ao would not have thrown out the Shinnon Cauldron to block Shueisha's 3-inch blood arrow. Furthermore, the Shinnon Cauldron's first 3 layers of restrictions had been refined by Tang Ao. As long as Tang Ao did not fall, unless the other party's strength far surpassed Tang Ao's, they would not be able to refine the Shinnon Cauldron. Dong! This time, the place that Tang Ao arrived at was a field of shattered rocks. Around the shattered rocks, there were many weathered skeletons. Phew! Tang Ao let out a breath. This time, it seemed that he had finally arrived at a safe place. After discovering that his surroundings were very quiet, Tang Ao also began to size up this place. As soon as he turned around, Tang Ao saw a stone tablet erected behind him. On the stone tablet, there were 4 large scarlet words, "Forbidden Skeletal Bones." Chapter 9:12. Although he didn't find any traces of human martial artists, Tang Ao unexpectedly found some useful spiritual herbs. 5 split gold thread, Rehmannia glutinosa, black forest fruit. Why are there so many spiritual herbs here? Tang Ao couldn't understand why there were so many spiritual herbs in the Forbidden Land of Bones, but Tang Ao was shocked. With these spiritual herbs, Tang Ao could immediately refine a cauldron of aura guiding pills to help Qing Shao guide the chaotic spiritual energy in her body. After finding all the spiritual herbs needed to refine aura guiding pills, Tang Ao started to refine aura guiding pills. The aura guiding pill was only a 4th grade pill. With Tang Ao's skills as a peak 6th grade alchemist, even without an alchemy cauldron, he could still refine aura guiding pills. However, this time, Tang Ao still used an alchemy cauldron. At the moment, Tang Ao's body couldn't store any spiritual energy, so he couldn't even condense an alchemy fire. Tang Ao took out a 5th grade alchemy cauldron and started to refine aura guiding pills. Tang Ao threw the spiritual herbs into the alchemy cauldron one by one. The scorching alchemy fire swept over the spiritual herbs, instantly turning them into ashes, leaving only drops of crystal clear medicinal liquid essence. The medicinal liquid essences of more than 10 spiritual herbs were absorbed by Tang Ao one by one, and 6 smooth and round pills slowly appeared. With a wave of his hand, 6 refined aura guiding pills flew out of the alchemy cauldron. Tang Ao grabbed an aura guiding pill and directly fed it to Qing Shao. After taking the pill, the rampaging spiritual energy in Qing Zhao's body quickly calmed down, and it began to circulate at an even speed. Tang Ao also let out a sigh of relief. As long as the chaotic spiritual energy in Qing Zhao's body was resolved, with the Great Lotus Pill's medicinal effect, it would only be a matter of time before Qing Shao fully recovered. Looking at the calm and sleeping Qing Shao, Tang Ao felt a little guilty. The alchemy conference was his own business, but he had dragged Qing Shao into it for no reason. Back then, Tang Ao had invited Qing Shao to participate in the alchemy conference with him because he felt that with Qing Zhao's strength, she wouldn't encounter any trouble in the Winter Plains. However, it was clear that Tang Ao's judgment was wrong. Although the ice-snow plains' spiritual energy was thin, it seemed to hide some unknown secrets. That was why the warriors in the Winter Plain could still cultivate to the peak of the Sea of Soul's realm in such an environment with thin spirit qi. Right at this moment, Qing Shao, who lay in Tang Ao's embrace, moved slightly. Then, Qing Zhao's beautiful eyelashes fluttered, and she opened her bright and beautiful eyes. What is this place? Did I feel cold just now? This is the Forbidden Land of Bones. It seems to be a dangerous place, but at least we are safe for now. According to the catalog that Xiao Ling had given to Tang Ao, the Forbidden Land of Bones was one of the 3 great forbidden areas of the Medicine Refining Valley. However, Tang Ao and Qing Shao had been here for a long time without encountering any danger. At the same time, Tang Ao was also impressed by the power distribution of the Medicine Refining Valley in the Winter Plains. It seemed like the whole place had its own power. In the catalog that Xiao Ling had given to Tang Ao had seen that besides the base of the Medicine Refining Valley, there were also 3 forbidden areas and 9 medicine mountains. Plus, the Medicine Refining Valley was quite powerful in the 2 markets. One of the 2 markets was the biggest market in the Winter Plains, the Cloud Foothill Market, and the other was the Black Market, the Black Crow Market. Because the Medicine Refining Valley was not a tribal power in the Winter Plains, it was not included in the ranking. But in Tang Ao's opinion, if the Medicine Refining Valley was really included in the ranking, it would not be weaker than the top 9 tribes. Even the lower-ranked tribes would not be able to compete with the Medicine Refining Valley. I feel that there is something strange here. Let's leave. After recovering for a while, Qing Shao said to Tang Ao. Chapter 9:13. Tang Ao heaved a sigh of relief after leaving the forbidden skeletal lands without encountering any danger. After walking out of the forbidden skeletal lands, Tang Ao asked Qing Shao, who was lying on his back, "Qing Shao, have you not recovered your strength yet?" When Qing Shao woke up earlier, she said that her whole body was weak, so Tang Ao could only carry her on his back. However, after such a long time, Qing Xiao didn't seem to have any intention of getting off Tang Ao's back. I realize that I'm getting weaker and weaker. You can carry me on your back. Qing Xiao closed her beautiful eyes after speaking and actually took a nap on Tang Ao's back. Tang Ao felt a wave of helplessness in his heart. This wasn't the black-yellow continent, but the perilous, icy plains. If Tang Ao was at his peak, it wouldn't have mattered. However, not only was Tang Ao not at his peak, but his strength was also at its lowest point. Walking on the icy plains was very dangerous. Now that he was carrying Qing Xiao, the degree of danger increased again. However, Qing Xiao was lying on his back defenselessly. This trust made Tang Ao feel rather touched. Tang Ao, I smell something fragrant. Is it something delicious? Qing Xiao's eyes were still closed, but she only sniffed with her delicate nose. Tang Ao also smelled roasted meat. It seemed to be roasted chicken. Tang Ao spread out his soul power and searched in the direction of the fragrance. Soon, a young girl with her arms crossed in front of her appeared in Tang Ao's perception. The young girl was wearing a purple dress. She wasn't old, but her figure was very impressive. It wasn't inferior to Qing Xiao, who was on Tang Ao's back. Speaking of figure, Tang Ao suddenly smiled bitterly. This was because Tang Ao's back had always been soft, and he enjoyed it very much. Qing Xiao seemed to be completely unaware of Tang Ao's evil thoughts. From time to time, she would shift her body on Tang Ao's back, causing Tang Ao to be a little distracted along the way. It wasn't long before Tang Ao arrived before the young woman in a violet dress with Qing Xiao on his back. It smells so good. Qing Xiao's eyes lit up as she looked at the roasted chicken on the bonfire. Of course, my craftsmanship is first class in the ice and snow plain. The purple dress girl seemed to have noticed Tang Ao and Qing Xiao a long time ago, so she wasn't surprised that Tang Ao had come here with Qing Xiao on his back. After saying that, the purple-dressed young lady looked at Qing Xiao, who was on Tang Ao's back. She immediately stuck out her tongue and said, "I'm so embarrassed. She's so big, and she still needs someone to carry her." Qing Xiao completely disregarded the young woman's words, and she continued to lie on Tang Ao's back as she looked at the roasted chicken on the bonfire and asked, "Little sister, can you treat big sister to this? I can give you a beautiful bracelet." As Qing Xiao spoke, she brought out a beautiful bracelet from her storage ring. When Tang Ao saw the bracelet, he was slightly surprised. The bracelet was a first-grade divine weapon. Spiritual weapons were divided into 6 grades. Spiritual weapons above the 6th grade were called divine weapons in the black-yellow continent, while they were called immortal weapons in some high-level planes. Although the names were different, there was no doubt that they were all existences above spiritual weapons. "Big sister, you're so nice. I also want to give you a gift." As she spoke, she took out a hairpin made of purple crystal. Seeing this hairpin, Tang Ao was stunned again. Since when were there so many first-grade immortal weapons? The hairpin that the girl named Zi Yin handed to Qing Xiao was also a first-grade immortal weapon. Chapter 9:14. Under the moonlight, the bonfire was dim, and the cold wind was rustling. Tang Ao and the other two sat around the bonfire. Through this short conversation, Tang Ao found Zi Yin to be an interesting girl. Of course, it was not because of the conversation between Zi Yin and Tang Ao, but because of Zi Yan's identity. The sky-piercing eyes could see through heaven and earth. With the insight of Tang Ao's sky-piercing eyes, few people could hide anything from Tang Ao. Just like Qing Xiao, Zi Yin was not a human being. What was more interesting was that both of them were descendants of the Dragon Clan. However, unlike Qing Xiao, although Tang Ao could recognize that Qing Xiao was a member of the Dragon Clan, Tang Ao did not know which branch of the Dragon Clan she was from. As for Ziyan's origin, Tang Ao could see it. Ziyan was a young purple spirit golden dragon. According to Ming Di's inherited memory, there were 5 major dragon clans in the world. One of them was the Burning Dragon, which was Tang Huo'er's original form. The other was the Ice Dragon. Tang Yu's original form was the Ice Dragon. Tang Ao had not come into contact with the five-clawed golden dragon yet. Then there was the purple spirit golden dragon. As for the last dragon, Mingdi only knew of its existence. He did not know more. Tang Ao had lived 2 lives, but this was the first time he had come into contact with the purple spirit golden dragon. Perhaps Zi Yin was still in her infancy and had not shown the characteristics of the purple spirit golden dragon. Ziyin, are you also an alchemist? In the conversation just now, Ziyin said that she was going to the Yunlu Mountains to participate in the alchemy conference held by the Medicine Refining Valley. Although Ziyin's identity was a bit mysterious, no matter how Tang Ao looked at her, Ziyin did not look like an alchemist. I am not an alchemist, but some of the places to enter the Xitigarbis Cemetery will be auctioned at the Yunlu auction. I want to buy a place to enter the Xitigarbis Cemetery. When talking about the Xitigarbis Cemetery, Ziyin's eyes were very firm, as if she had to go. Sister Ziyin, you want to go to the Xitigarbis Cemetery? Why don't you just ask Tang Ao to give you a spot? Qing Xiao took a bite of the roasted chicken and said casually. It was as if the quota that countless alchemists in the ice and snow plain had risked their lives to obtain was easily obtained by Tang Ao. Ah, Tang Ao, do you have a place to enter the Xitigarbis Cemetery? Ziyin stared at Tang Ao with her beautiful big eyes without blinking. Tang Ao scratched his head awkwardly. I'll have it when the time comes. Will I get the quota? I can give you one. Tang Ao was a peak 6th grade alchemist. If Tang Ao couldn't even get a place in this level of alchemy conference, then Tang Ao, this 6th grade alchemist, was too useless. In the Silver Moon tribe, a document about Tang Ao appeared in Lu Rushi's hands. Tang Ao's Shinong cauldron was placed in the center of the room by Lu Rushi. Lu Rushi was quite helpless about the Shinong Emperor. She had seen with her own eyes that the Shinong cauldron was taken out by Tang Ao out of thin air. That was to say that the Shinong cauldron must have been stored in some kind of spiritual storage device by Tang Ao. However, after Lu Rushi got the Shinong cauldron, not only could she not refine it, but she also could not put in the storage ring. Therefore, Lu Rushi became more and more interested in Tang Ao. Sister, are you looking at Tang Ao's information again? I think this Tang Ao will become my brother-in-law after a period of time. Lu Fei, who was beside Lu Rushi, said thoughtlessly. What nonsense are you talking about? I'm just a little curious about him. Lu Rushi had long been used to her sister's outspoken words. Chapter 9:15. On the way to the Yunlu mountain range, there was a place called Hundred Grass Town. Hundred Grass Town was a small town formed by many tribes. Because it was close to the Hundred Grass mountain range, many spirit herbs and other items were sold in Hundred Grass Town. More than 60% of the transactions in the ice and snow plain were done in Yunlu Market, 30% in Black Crow Market, and the remaining 10% in Hundred Grass Town. So many people, so many delicious food. Qing Xiao and Zi Yin said almost at the same time. Tang Ao looked at the two helplessly. At the same time, Tang Ao sighed with emotion. There were a lot of people here. This seemed to be a small market, and there were many kinds of items for sale. There were broken spirit weapons, some strange fragments, and bones, which seemed to be some special refining materials. In addition, most of the things were spirit herbs and some ores. Tang Ao, I want to eat that. Qing Xiao pointed to the fried meatballs not far away. Tang Ao, I want to eat that too. Tang Ao had just bought the fried meatballs for Qing Xiao, but Qing Xiao asked for a kind of silk-like sugar. Tang Ao had seen this kind of sugar in Bluestone City, but he didn't expect it to be here. Along the way, Qing Xiao kept her promise with Tang Ao, which was to eat wherever she went. Since entering Hundred Grass Town, Qing Xiao had been eating. Tang Ao really couldn't figure out how her slim body could eat so much. Zi Yin seemed to like this kind of lively place. After entering Hundred Grass Town, she separated from Tang Ao and went to play by herself. Although Zi Yin looked a little mature, she was still a child after all. If Ziyan's age was converted to that of a human, then the current purple I was only a 12 or 13 years old child. Hey, Ganoderma lucidum. Suddenly, Tang Ao saw a basin-sized Ganoderma lucidum in a stall. No, when Tang Ao was about to reach out to take a look, Tang Ao's heart suddenly moved. Tang Ao's hand, which was about to reach out, did not move. This spirit grass was a Lingji mushroom, but it wasn't the precious amber Lingji mushroom. It was just an ordinary warm jade Lingji mushroom. Normally, the difference between the warm jade Ganoderma and the amber forest Ganoderma was still very big. Therefore, as a peak 6th level alchemist, Tang Ao would definitely not be mistaken. In fact, Tang Ao really did admit his mistake at first, and he almost reached out to touch the warm jade Ganoderma. After recognizing that it was a warm jade Ganoderma, Tang Ao quickly discovered some clues from it. This warm jade Ganoderma had been treated with special methods. Because the warm jade Ganoderma and the amber Ganoderma were very similar, after the treatment, the aura of the warm jade Ganoderma was very similar to the amber Ganoderma. Tang Ao looked at the other items in this stall. Tang Ao found that if this amber Ganoderma was real, then this amber Ganoderma will be the most precious item in this stall. Unfortunately, the amber Ganoderma was fake. Little brother, what's wrong? Do you fancy this amber Ganoderma? If you want it, I can sell it to you cheaply. The Alchemy Valley's Alchemy Conference will be held soon. The amber Ganoderma is a treasure that can increase one's soul power. With this amber Ganoderma, your chances of winning will be higher. The stall owner was an old man with a mouthful of yellow teeth. He held a pipe in his hand and puffed on it. Chapter 9:16. This old man dared to sell fake goods in the market, so he obviously had some tricks up his sleeve. Therefore, Tang Ao didn't explicitly say that the amber Lingji was fake, but just hinted at it. Sure enough, after hearing Tang Ao's words, the old man's cloudy eyes flashed, and then he looked at Tang Ao with a smile that wasn't a smile. After a long time, the old man took another puff of his tobacco and said to Tang Ao, "You're not bad, but if you want to get the amber Lingji from me, there are 3 ways." As the old man spoke, he raised 3 fingers. "Tell me, if I can do it, I'll trade with you." Tang Ao didn't directly boast. The old man only cared about the conditions. There was nothing he couldn't do. Although Tang Ao was a 6th grade alchemist, Tang Ao was not sure what kind of conditions this yellow-toothed old man would put forward. You don't have to worry. Out of these 3 paths, at least one of them is achievable by you. The yellow-toothed old man took another puff of his pipe and grinned at Tang Ao with his big yellow teeth. After hearing this, Tang Ao couldn't help but be curious. Could it be that this old man knew of his ability? The first condition, if you have the extermination grass, I'll exchange it with an amber Lingji. How about it? Tang Ao shook his head. The extermination grass is a top 6th grade spiritual herb. Although it isn't as rare as the amber Lingji, in terms of value, the extermination grass is more precious than the amber Lingji. Moreover, I don't have any extermination grass on me. If Tang Ao had the extermination grass, Tang Ao wouldn't have talked so much with the old man and would have directly exchanged it with the old man. No matter how precious the extermination grass was, it was useless to the current Tang Ao, and the amber Lingji was very likely to help Tang Ao's soul C recover a little. Even if the extermination grass was precious, it was useless to the current Tang Ao. The amber Lingji was very likely to help Tang Ao's soul C recover a little. Since you don't have the silent extermination grass, then I will state my second condition. The second condition is to give me a bottle of thunder liquid. No, if you have thunder liquid, you only need half a bottle. Lightning liquid? What is this? Tang Ao knew 99% of the heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the black-yellow continent. Tang Ao also knew 90% of the heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the snow plain. However, this lightning liquid was clearly beyond Tang Ao's knowledge. When a yellow-toothed old man heard that Tang Ao didn't even know what thunder liquid was, he couldn't help but feel a bit disappointed. At first, when Tang Ao was able to recognize the warm jade Lingji, the yellow-toothed old man was secretly delighted. But now, Tang Ao didn't even know what thunder liquid was. This made the yellow-toothed old man suspect that Tang Ao's ability to recognize the amber lingji was just a stroke of luck. The yellow-toothed old man's third condition was for Tang Ao to acknowledge him as his master. However, the yellow-toothed old man was somewhat hesitant to accept Tang Ao as his own disciple. Tang Ao urgently wanted to obtain the amber lingji. After seeing the yellow-toothed old man's expression, Tang Ao felt that something was wrong. Suddenly, Tang Ao felt that something was wrong. This yellow-toothed old man's behavior didn't seem like that of an old man of his age. Although it was very rude, Tang Ao still secretly circulated his sky pole pupils towards this yellow-toothed old man. Under the detection of the sky pole pupils, this old man's entire body was shrouded in pill chi. He actually couldn't see his true appearance. However, Tang Ao was sure that this old man used a very interesting elixir, and that was the appearance-changing elixir. Thinking of this, Tang Ao casually smiled. "Kid, is ignorance something to be happy about?" The yellow-toothed old man stared at Tang Ao with his turbid eyes and scolded. Chapter 9:17. Upon hearing Tang Ao's words, the yellow-toothed old man scrutinized Tang Ao once more. Then he said softly, "With such foresight, I can offer this condition. If you acknowledge me as your master, I'll give you the amber lingji." And before the yellow-toothed old man could finish, Tang Ao rejected him immediately. "That won't do." Tang Ao's alchemy heritage came from Yun Xiaoyao, one of the three saints of Unfettered. The alchemy heritage of this yellow-toothed old man before him was at most on par with his own. It was impossible for him to reach Yun Xiaoyao's level. Yun Xiaoyao could even refine a 9th-grade immortal pill. It was hard to say if this old man could even refine a 6th-grade pill. "Won't you reconsider?" the yellow-toothed old man asked, looking at Tang Ao. "No. If you're willing to trade, I'm willing to exchange a Great Lotus Pill with you." The Great Lotus Pill is a 6th-grade top-notch pill, while the Amber Lingji is only a 6th-grade spiritual herb. What do you think? If he did not really need the Amber Lingji, Tang Ao was naturally unwilling to reveal the existence of the Great Lotus Pill. "You have the Great Lotus Pill? Let me have a look." The yellow-toothed old man did not agree, nor did he reject. Although the yellow-toothed old man was quite capable, Tang Ao was not afraid that he would cheat him of his pill. Therefore, Tang Ao handed over a Great Lotus Pill without hesitation. The old man took out the Great Lotus Pill and studied it for a moment before nodding. "Not bad, a 6th-grade special class Great Lotus Pill. Give me 3 of these pills and the recipe, and I'll give you the Amber Lingji in exchange," the yellow-toothed old man said firmly, even returning the pill to Tang Ao. Obviously, his words left no room for negotiation this time. Even though the yellow-toothed old man's words left no room for negotiation, Tang Ao still handed over a jade scroll and the pill. "Senior, this is the recipe for refining the Great Lotus Pill. As for the Great Lotus Pill, I only have one on me." Although Tang Ao still had some big lotus pills on him, they were different from little lotus pills. These big lotus pills were life-saving items, so Tang Ao was naturally not willing to take out so many. Looking at what Tang Ao handed over, the yellow-toothed old man hesitated. Seeing the old man's hesitant look, Tang Ao immediately took out a jade bottle. Inside the jade bottle were 6 little lotus pills. The old man took a look at the jade bottle and was instantly stunned. 6 special grade little lotus pills. Moreover, he had seen this pill not too long ago. After looking at Tang Ao with a smile that was not a smile, the yellow-toothed old man took out a jade box and tossed it to Tang Ao. Immediately after, the yellow-toothed old man waved his sleeve and his stall and person disappeared. Tang Ao looked at the yellow-toothed old man in shock. Just now, he had felt a rich spatial power, as well as the aura of a life and death realm warrior. This ordinary-looking old man was a life and death realm warrior? Wasn't it said that the top 10 warriors of the Winter Plains were only at the peak of the 9th floor of Linghai Jing? Why were there still life and death realm warriors in the Winter Plains? If there were life and death realm warriors in the Winter Plains, then the top 10 warriors would be a joke. Perhaps even 10 of them together would not be enough to fight against that yellow-toothed old man. In a valley thousands of miles away, a figure slowly appeared. It was a sloppy-looking old man. It was the person who had just traded with Tang Ao. But with a flash of white light on the old man's body, the appearance change pill's qi also slowly dissipated. After the pill qi had completely dissipated, an old man with the demeanor of an immortal appeared. Chapter 918. In the 100-herb market, Tang Ao looked in the direction where the strange old man disappeared and shook his head. Tang Ao found it more and more difficult to see through the snow plain. Logically speaking, with the thin natural energies here, it would be extremely difficult to cultivate to the spirit sea realm. However, that mysterious old man was a life and death realm warrior. Moreover, he was not an ordinary life and death realm warrior. Even among life and death realm warriors, he was probably one of the stronger ones. Then, Tang Ao smiled again. This time, he had unexpectedly obtained the amber Ganoderma. After refining the amber Ganoderma into the amber soul nourishing pill, he might be able to repair his damaged soul C. After his soul C was repaired, he would be able to use his life soul to a greater extent. Right now, he was still far from repairing his spirit C. If his soul C could be restored to its peak state, it would be of great help to him in the future. Tang Ao, do you want to eat this? Qing Xiao passed a string of glutinous rice balls to Tang Ao's mouth. Tang Ao looked at Qing Xiao and saw that she was holding a pile of food in her arms. Tang Ao couldn't help but sigh in his heart. This girl really could eat. But what Tang Ao didn't know was that the reason why Qing Xiao was holding so many things was because her storage ring was already filled with the things she bought. Qing Xiao, why don't you put these things in your storage ring? Tang Ao chuckled and couldn't help but ask. Because my storage ring is full. There are many things I want, but I can't fit them all. Qing Xiao frowned slightly, seeming to be a bit distressed. Right, Tang Ao? Qing Xiao seemed to have noticed something. What's wrong? Tang Ao's heart tightened. This girl couldn't be thinking of using his storage ring to help her store things, right? What are you holding in your hand? Qing Xiao saw that Tang Ao was holding an exquisite jade box and couldn't help but be curious. In Qing Xiao's opinion, there were too many delicious things in this 100-herb town. What Tang Ao was holding might also be delicious. This is an amber lingji. It could be used to refine the amber soul pill. It turned out that she wanted to know what was inside the jade box. Tang Ao thought that Qing Xiao wanted him to help her put all kinds of things inside. Tang Ao said as he opened the jade box. A crystal-clear Ganoderma lay quietly in the jade box. While Tang Ao was showing Qing Xiao the amber lingji, an unfriendly voice was heard. It's actually an amber lingji. This young master wants it. Tang Ao looked over and saw a young man in white with frivolous eyes. There was a group of people following behind the young man, but none of them spoke. It was obvious that they were following the lead of this white-robed young man. Boy, this is Zhao Tianyi, young Master Zhao. It is your fortune that young Master Zhao has taken a liking to your spirit grass. Hurry up and give this spirit herb to young Master Zhao. Seeing Tang Ao's strange expression and standing there indifferently, a big man behind Zhao Tianyi impatiently said to Tang Ao, "Oh." Tang Ao responded faintly and didn't say anything else. Boy, you didn't hear what I said, did you? Young Master Zhao Tianyi is a respected 4th-grade alchemist and a young master of the Setting Sun tribe. Enough, Chu Jiang. Zhao Tianyi impatiently waved his hand, but his pair of triangular eyes were greedily looking at Qing Xiao, who was beside Tang Ao. Just now, he was attracted by the amber lingji and actually didn't see such a stunning beauty at first sight. After noticing Qing Xiao, Zhao Tianyi's eyes could no longer move away from Qing Xiao. Chapter 919. Tang Ao, what does he mean? Are you going to give me delicious food? Hearing Qin Zhao's words, Tang Ao withdrew the killing intent that he was about to release. Zhao Qianni and his people were all Yuan martial realm ants, so Tang Ao could take them down easily. But after hearing Qin Zhao's words, Tang Ao immediately paid attention. Tang Ao moved closer to Qin Zhao's ear and whispered, Qin Zhao, he's not going to give you good food. He's going to steal all your good food. Steal? How dare he? Qin Zhao threw a pile of things to Tang Ao. Then, she activated her spirit power, and the pressure of a Sea of Souls realm warrior burst out. Feeling the powerful spirit power vibration, Zhao Qianni and his people's expressions changed drastically. They didn't think that a small figure like Tang Ao would have a Sea of Souls realm warrior following him. As one of the top 9 tribes, the Split Sun tribe had Sea of Souls realm warriors. There were even peak-level Sea of Souls realm warriors in the tribe. But right then, the people following Zhao Qianni were all Yuan martial realm warriors. Facing Qin Zhao, who was at the 6th level of the Sea of Souls realm, they didn't even have the courage to resist. Lady, our Split Sun tribe also has Sea of Souls realm warriors. How about we just let this go? Although Zhao Qianni was a playboy, he was not someone who didn't know his limits. If he fought with Qin Zhao now, he would obviously be at a disadvantage. As long as he could stop Qin Zhao now, the Sea of Souls realm warriors of the Split Sun tribe would arrive soon. At that time, he would cripple Qin Zhao's cultivation, and he would naturally be able to enjoy this gorgeous beauty. As for Tang Ao, of course, he would be chopped into pieces and fed to the dogs. Just as Zhao Qianni was thinking about it evilly, Qin Zhao threw out a fist. A fragrant wind blew, and then Zhao Qianni felt dizzy. The whole world started to spin. Zhao Qianni's people turned around and saw that Zhao Qianni, who was at the 9th level of the Yuan martial realm, had been blown 30 meters away. Bitch, how dare you attack young Master Zhao? Tang Ao, what does he mean by that? Qin Zhao looked angrily at the shirtless middle-aged man. He said that since you hit that pretty boy just now, you won't be able to eat delicious food anymore. When he said this, Tang Ao suddenly felt a sense of guilt for deceiving an innocent girl. Bang, bang, bang. There were a few more sounds of heavy objects falling to the ground, and Zhao Qianni and his minions were all knocked to the ground by Qin Zhao, wailing endlessly. Tang Ao, let's go. I don't want to stay here anymore. Qin Zhao walked to Tang Ao's side. She seemed somewhat angry. All right, then let's go to Yunlu Market now. Tang Ao had only brought Qin Zhao to 100 Grass Town to have some fun. Now that Qin Zhao didn't want to play anymore, Tang Ao was naturally willing to head to the Cloud Foothill mountain range. That won't do. I've only walked through the streets on the west side of 100 Grass Town once. Who knows if there's anything good on the east side? Let's go to the east side and have a look. Tang Ao was speechless. So when Qin Zhao said that she didn't want to stay here, it was because she bought almost everything on the west side, so she didn't want to stay here anymore. Luckily, Tang Ao had quite a few pills on him. He could casually take out some and exchange them for a large amount of snow pearls in the pill house. However, because Qin Zhao was really good at shopping, she used up all the snow pearls on Tang Ao. Qin Zhao, you still want to buy things. Chapter 920. I don't have any snow beads. Let's find an elixir house to sell some elixirs. Fortunately, I'm an alchemist. Otherwise, I can't afford to raise you. Tang Ao looked at Qin Zhao, who was full of excitement, and smiled bitterly. Ah, then did I cause trouble for you? Hearing Tang Ao's words, Qin Zhao looked at Tang Ao very seriously and asked. Qin Zhao's innocent and cute appearance immediately caused Tang Ao to be defeated. It's not troublesome. If this is troublesome, then I like it when you trouble me. Looking at Tang Ao and Qin Zhao's departing figures, Zhao Qianni's eyes were filled with resentment. Ask Zhao Yin to come here. I want these 2 idiots to know the price of offending me. Young Master, His Excellency Zhao Yin is one of the top 10 experts on the ice and snow plane. We don't need to trouble him to deal with such a small potato. Oh, trouble? Zhao Yin is just a dog of the Zhao family. How dare he complain about trouble? Zhao Yin is not far from here. Ask him to come here as soon as possible. Tang Ao, that man mentioned the Sunburn tribe. Is it the same as Xen's Snow Feather tribe? Qing Xiao suddenly asked while walking with Tang Ao on the street. The Sunburn tribe. It sounds familiar. Let me have a look. Tang Ao took out the map given by Qiuling. On this map, most areas of the ice and snow plain and the distribution of the major forces were marked. Tang Ao soon found the Sunburn tribe. The Sunburn tribe ranked 5th among the top 9 tribes on the ice and snow plain. The strongest in the tribe was suspected to be Zhao Yin, who was at the peak of the 9th floor of Linghai Jing. Qing Xiao, I'm afraid we have to leave here. We don't need to worry about those people. But there are warriors at the peak of the 9th floor of Linghai Jing in the Sunburn tribe. We're not their match for the time being. Did I get into trouble? Hearing Tang Ao's words, Qing Xiao was a little worried. We just beat some ants. Don't worry about it. But we'd better leave here as soon as possible. Let's find Ziyin first and then leave. Leave? You beat me, and you want to leave here alive? At this moment, Zhao Qianni, who was beaten by Qing Xiao, appeared not far from Tang Ao and Qing Xiao. Sister Qing Xiao, who is this person? Just as Tang Ao was thinking about how to leave this place, Ziyin walked over from an unknown place. Although Ziyin had also bought some trinkets, she was much more sensible than Qing Xiao and did not have the bad habit of spending money recklessly. Oh, another little beauty. Zhao Yin, chop that brat up and feed him to the dogs. Don't touch these 2 beauties. This young master wants to enjoy them. Zhao Qianni said to a gray-robed youth with dark eyes behind him. As one of the top 10 experts on the ice and snow plain, Zhao Yin had a high status in the ice and snow plain. But at this moment, Zhao Qianni was ordering Yin Zhao Yin around like a servant. Chapter 921. After the 3 of them fought, Tang Ao also saw Ziyan's cultivation clearly. Although Ziyan looked a little younger, her cultivation was actually higher than Qing Zhao's. Although not as good as Zhao Yin, Ziyan was a warrior from the 7th floor of Linghai Jing. However, Ziyan and Qing Xiao, one from the 7th floor of Linghai Jing and the other at the 6th level of Sea of Souls realm, were still suppressed by Zhao Yin when they fought against the peak of the 9th floor of Linghai Jing. Tang Ao was very anxious and prepared to let Qing Xiao activate the Space Jade Talisman to escape. However, at this moment, Tang Ao received Ziyan's voice transmission. Tang Ao, Sister Qing Xiao, and I can't beat this guy. I have a flying spirit weapon. Let's escape first. As soon as Ziyan finished, a light appeared under Tang Ao's feet. Then, with a roll of light, Tang Ao appeared on a flying spirit weapon. After getting on the flying spirit weapon, Ziyin turned around and made a face at the gloomy Zhao Qianni. I'm still young. When I grow up, I'll teach you a lesson. Zhao Yin, don't let them escape. Chase them. Zhao Qianni didn't expect Ziyin to have such a powerful flying spirit weapon. However, Ziyin's cultivation was not high, so Zhao Qianni was sure she couldn't escape too far. On the flying spirit weapon, Tang Ao was very surprised. Ziyin, I didn't expect you to have a peak 6th level flying spirit weapon. Ziyin squinted her eyes and smiled. She seemed to like people praising her. It's just that my cultivation is not high enough, so I can't control this flying car to fly too far. Also, I feel an aura following us from a distance. Yes, it's that Zhao Yin. Although your flying car is not slow, Zhao Yin seems to have an extremely powerful escape skill as well. He's been following us. How about this? You go to the valley in front and stop. I'll use the formation to deal with him. Although Tang Ao and the other 2 could use the Space Jade Talisman to escape, the Space Jade Talisman didn't have a fixed location. After using it, Tang Ao wasn't sure where he would be teleported to. Outside Hunter Grass Town, a beast carriage sped along the mountain road. In the beast carriage, Zhao Tianni's face was very gloomy. Suddenly, the communication bead in Zhao Tianni's hand lit up, and a message appeared on it. Very good. Those 3 who don't know the immensity of heaven and earth actually entered Black River Valley. Haha, you really don't know what's good for you. The Black River Valley has a natural no-fly restriction. Flying spirit artifacts cannot be used in the Black River Valley. If you don't even know this, How dare you go against young Master Zhao? Sigh, you don't have to say too much. If they had any brains, they wouldn't go against young Master Zhao. The reason why they dared to offend young Master Zhao, isn't it because they have no brains? Haha! This person's words caused everyone in the beast carriage to burst into laughter. After Zhao Qianni laughed a few times, he found that a white-bearded old man had not spoken. He asked, Elder Yuan, is there something wrong? Although Zhao Qianni was insufferably arrogant, he still respected the old man in front of him. This old man was a rank 5 spirit array master. In the Canyon tribe, his position was second only to his dead old man. Zhao Yuan hesitated for a moment before saying, Tianni, Zhao Yin is a warrior of the 9th floor of Linghai Jing. Do you know that? Zhao Qianni looked a little unhappy. Zhao Yin was his father's adopted son. It was just that he was talented in martial arts. So many people in the tribe liked to compare him with Zhao Yin. Unfortunately, his talent in alchemy was good, but his martial arts talent was average. Zhao Yin was already a warrior at the peak of the Sea of Soul's realm, but he hadn't even stepped into the Sea of Soul's realm. Chapter 922. As a 6th grade spirit array master, Tang Ao could naturally tell that there was a flight restriction array here. The flight restriction array was a natural array. Even though such an array was not of a high grade, it was still extremely difficult to deal with. However, Tang Ao had set up a 5th grade confinement killing array. With the help of the 5th grade confinement killing array, coupled with Zi Yin and Qing Xiao, they could deal with Zhao Yin alone. This is a flight restriction array that is equivalent to a 3rd grade spirit array. It is not of a high grade, but this natural array does not leave any traces, so it is very difficult to crack. I will set up a 5th grade confinement killing array here. When Zhao Yin and company catch up, we can work together to kill Zhao Yin. As for this flight restriction array, if anything happens, I will self-detonate the confinement killing array to break it. The 3 of us will use the Space Jade Talisman to escape. Qing Xiao and Zi Yin had no objections to Tang Ao's suggestion. They nodded at the same time. Tang Ao took out the array flags that he had previously refined. One by one, the array flags were thrown out by Tang Ao in different directions before disappearing. Tang Ao moved like lightning. Soon, 180 array flags were set up by Tang Ao. Why aren't you running? Aren't you good at running? After Tang Ao finished setting up the 5th grade confinement killing array, Zhao Qianni, who was in a beast carriage, chased after them. This is Black Wind Valley. It is impossible to fly around here. Choosing this place as your burial ground, you have a good eye. Is that so? Then you can thank me, because I was the one who chose this place for you. After Tang Ao said that, he threw out 2 array flags. Immediately, Zhao Qianni and company were enveloped by Tang Ao's 5th grade confinement killing array. When Zhao Qianni saw that Tang Ao had trapped him with an array, he immediately sneered. Yuan Lao, show him what a real array is. After Zhao Qianni said that, he suddenly realized that something was wrong. Yuan Lao was not behind him. He did not even know where Yuan Lao was. Yuan Elder, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and break this formation. Although Zhao Qianni respected Yuan Elder, his respect was limited. Young lord, I'm afraid I can't help you this time. While Zhao Qianni was looking for Yuan Lao and Zhao Yin suddenly appeared in a corner of the trap and kill array. Tang Ao narrowed his eyes. It seemed that he had been used as a knife this time. Zhao Yin and Yuan Lao seemed to have a grudge against Zhao Qianni and wanted to get rid of him. Young master? Zhao Yuan, what is the meaning of this? Zhao Qianni looked at Yuan Lao and Zhao Yin with an ugly expression. Zhao Yin was his father's adopted son. In the tribe, some people called Zhao Yin the eldest young master, and he the young master. But such people were all killed by Zhao Qianni all these years. Now, someone actually called him young master in front of him. Young master, the tribe leader is not going to make it. It's time for a new leader. You're used to being arrogant and domineering. You're not suitable for the position of clan leader. The good thing is that the eldest young master is talented and humble. However, the eldest young master is the adopted son, so he can only take the position after you die. Zhao Yuan's tone was very normal, as if he was talking about a small matter. Zhao Yin, you dare kill me? Zhao Tianyi laughed wildly and looked at Zhao Yin. Zhao Yin frowned and pointed at Tang Ao and the other two. Young master is used to being arrogant and domineering. This time, you forcefully took someone else's wife, causing this warrior named Tang Ao to be so angry that he killed the young master regardless of the consequences. Elder Yuan and I arrived at the scene and broke his formation. But you, Zhao Tianyi, are beyond saving. Of course, I will bring your body back to my father. Chapter 923. I'm sorry, but this is your family business. I'm not going to get involved. Tang Ao said this because there was already a crystal ball in Tang Ao's hand. This crystal ball recorded everything within Tang Ao's soul power range. Although Zhao Yin and the elder next to him were a bit powerful, Tang Ao knew that if he and Qin Shao wanted to leave, Zhao Yin would not be able to stop them. However, Tang Ao did not want to be framed by Zhao Yin, so Tang Ao recorded the crystal ball and kept it as evidence. Haha, you are indeed an idiot. He killed me. Do you think he will let you go? You three join me and kill Zhao Yin together. I will let bygones be bygones, and I will even give you a fortune. What do you think? Although Zhao Tianyi was a playboy, he was not stupid. Right now, they were all inside the formation that Tang Ao had set up. Although Tang Ao's cultivation was low, he was still useful. Secondly, Qin Shao and Zi Yin next to Tang Ao were both late Sea of Souls realm warriors. Although they were not Zhao Yin's opponent together, it was more than enough to stall Yuan Lao. As for Zhao Yin wanted to kill him, but he also wanted to kill Zhao Yin. Therefore, he also had ways to deal with Zhao Yin. How about I remove the formation now and leave? Tang Ao did not answer Zhao Tianyi, but looked at Zhao Yin and asked, No way. Someone has to be responsible for Zhao Tianyi's death. How about this? I can let two of you go, but one of you has to stay. After Zhao Yin finished speaking, he smiled slightly. You don't have to be slow to reject me. Perhaps my proposal is also a good one. Yuan Lao, what do you think? After Zhao Yin asked this, Tang Ao suddenly frowned. This was because Tang Ao discovered that there was another top-notch grade 5 array outside of his confinement killing array. This formation was set up by Yuan Lao. In other words, this low-profile old man was a peak 5th grade spiritual formation master. Qin Shao, Yin, you two leave first, Tang Ao said to the two of them as he opened up a passage in the trap and kill array. No, you're so weak. What will you do if we leave? You and big sister Qin Shao go first. I have a flying car, so I'll be able to catch up with you in a while, Zi Yin said in a clear voice. I'm not leaving. Before Tang Ao could speak, Qin Shao said angrily. Not far away, Zhao Yin smiled casually. If you don't want to leave, then so be it. I never intended to let you go anyway. Zhao Tianyi laughed after hearing Zhao Yin's words. Did you hear that, Tang Ao? Let's work together. I'll deal with Zhao Yin, and the three of you can stall Yuan Lao. After this is done, I will reward you handsomely. Zhao Yin didn't look at Zhao Tianyi. Instead, he looked at an empty space and said, Tu Hong, how long are you going to hide? Tang Ao followed Zhao Yin's gaze but didn't see anything. However, when Tang Ao activated his heavenly polar eyes, he immediately saw a blood-red shadow. A strange laugh that sounded like broken bellows was heard. Then, a figure with a slightly twisted figure appeared. This person seemed to have been killed by 1,000 cuts. His body was covered with dense scars. One of his eyes was a black hole, and the eyeball was long gone. Seeing Tu Hong's horrifying appearance, Zi Yin leaned slightly towards Tang Ao. Although her cultivation was much higher than Tang Ao's, she was still an innocent girl. Chapter 924. This had nothing to do with Tang Ao. Moreover, the Split Sun tribe was one of the top 9 tribes, so Tang Ao would not be able to handle them. Right now, Tang Ao only wanted to reach the Cloud Foothill mountain range and participate in the alchemy conference organized by the Medicine Refining Valley. Then, Tang Ao would be able to enter the Ksitagarba cemetery. As long as he could get some spirit ice fruits from the Xitigarbis cemetery, Tang Ao would be able to recover his spiritual C. After recovering his spiritual C, Tang Ao's injuries would be completely healed. By then, Tang Ao would have recovered to his peak, which was the first level of the life and death realm. In the ice plane, as long as he did not run into that mysterious old man, Tang Ao would be able to kill anything in his way. Therefore, before he recovered his strength, it would not be a good idea to make an enemy of the Split Sun tribe. Tang Ao, what are you waiting for? Zhao Qianni yelled at Tang Ao when he saw Zhao Yin and Tu Hong fighting. However, facing Zhao Qianni's yell, Tang Ao was indifferent. This had nothing to do with Tang Ao. Moreover, Tang Ao did not feel that there was anything wrong with Zhao Yin killing Zhao Qianni. Since Tang Ao did not say anything, Qin Shao and Ziyan naturally would not act rashly. In fact, Tang Ao really hoped that Qin Shao and Ziyan would leave just now. Tang Ao had set up a 5th grade trap formation and a 5th grade kill formation. After Qin Shao and Ziyan left, Tang Ao immediately exploded the formation and hid in the chaotic hexagram mirror. Although the self-detonation of 2 grade 5 spiritual arrays might not be able to kill Tu Hong and Zhao Yin, the rest of the people, including Yuan Lao, would definitely die. Moreover, even if Zhao Yin and Tu Hong did not die, they would be severely injured. Young lord, just kill yourself. I don't want to make things too difficult for you. Without Tang Ao and the others stopping him, Yuan Lao easily arrived in front of Zhao Qianni. Zhao Qianni's guards kept backing out when facing Yuan Lao. Although Yuan Lao was not as powerful as Zhao Yin, he was still a powerful Sea of Souls realm warrior. Zhao Qianni's guards, on the other hand, were only at the 9th level of the Origin realm. Elder Yuan, I have always respected you. I never thought that you would team up with Zhao Yin, that hungry wolf, to harm me. At this point, Zhao Qianni did not expect Yuan Elder to stop. He just wanted to stall Yuan Elder for a while. Among the guards accompanying him, there were 2 experts hidden in the dark. One was Tu Hong. After being taught a lesson by Qin Shao for the first time, he sent a message asking Tu Hong to come over. The other person was Qin Yuyang. Qin Yuyang's abilities were stronger than Tu Hong's. However, Qin Yuyang was still on his way. As soon as Qin Yuyang arrived, Zhao Yin and Yuan Lao would both die. But now, Zhao Qianni was worried that he would not be able to hold on until Qin Yuyang arrived. Qin Yuyang was the same as Zhao Yin, one of the top 10 experts in the Winter Plain. However, Qin Yuyang was ranked 3rd, while Zhao Yin was only ranked 7th. Zhao Yin thought that his real identity was only the young master of the Setting Sun tribe, but Zhao Qianni himself knew. His father was not the leader of the Setting Sun tribe, but the leader of the Sky Wolf tribe. This Qin Yuyang was sent by his father to protect him. Originally, Qin Yuyang would not show up until he took over the Setting Sun tribe, but this time his life was in danger, so he did not care anymore. Plus, if he could kill Zhao Yin, he would bring Tu Hong and Qin Yuyang back to the Setting Sun tribe to kill that damn old man. Young master, don't be stubborn. Since you are not going to kill yourself, I will have to do it myself. Chapter 925. After noticing Yuan Lao's intention, Tang Ao immediately used the sky-piercing eyes. Then, Tang Ao's expression changed slightly. Under the gaze of the sky-piercing eyes, there were many powerful warriors hiding outside the formation that Tang Ao and Yuan Lao were in. Tang Ao had already discovered 2 half-step life and death realm martial artists. Tang Ao even found 1 life and death realm warrior. This was a middle-aged man with tired eyes, and his appearance was somewhat similar to Zhao Yin's. Fortunately, although this man was a life and death realm warrior, he was only at the 1st level of the life and death realm compared to the mysterious old man that Tang Ao had met not long ago. Although Tang Ao could not deal with him now that he was seriously injured, Tang Ao would not feel as helpless when facing this person as he did when facing the mysterious old man. Qin Shao, Ziyan, there are quite a few people hiding outside the formation. I've already opened up a path. The two of you should use the Space Jade Talisman to leave. We'll meet up at the Cloud Foothill mountain range. Tang Ao sent a voice transmission to Qing Xiao and Zi Yin after changing the formation. Can't we use the Space Jade Talisman to leave together? Qing Xiao asked. There is a flight restriction formation outside. Even the Space Jade Talisman needs some time to activate. After you leave, I will close the formation. Also, I have a way to leave. Trust me. I won't. If you don't leave, I won't leave either. Unless you tell me how to leave. Qing Xiao shook her head and said seriously. Seeing Qing Xiao like this, Tang Ao was touched. Therefore, Tang Ao did not hesitate and explained the chaotic hexagram mirror to Qing Xiao in the most concise way possible. Qing Xiao was confused. Is this really possible? Of course. You have to trust me. Tang Ao patted his chest confidently. However, to Tang Ao's surprise, Qing Xiao's soft body suddenly hugged him. I will wait for you at Yinla Mountain. You have to come. Okay, go. Tang Ao threw out 2 formation flags. Then, the Grade 5 trap and kill formation changed. A passage appeared. After the passage came out, Ziyin and Qing Xiao flashed into it. At the same time, Tang Ao once again threw out 2 array flags, and the trap and kill array was once again sealed by Tang Ao. It was not a simple matter this time. After Qing Xiao and Zi Yin left, Tang Ao felt much more relaxed. Seeing that Tang Ao let Qing Xiao and Zi Yin go, Zhao Yin and Yuan Lao both frowned. Zhao Tianyi even roared, Tang Ao, you're crazy. If I die here today, even if Zhao Yin and Elder Yuan don't kill you, you won't be able to live. Then you don't have to worry. As long as you die in front of me, I'll be satisfied. Tang Ao didn't have a good impression of Zhao Tianyi. If it was another person, Tang Ao might really join forces with him, but this Zhao Tianyi, Tang Ao did not personally deal with him, so he had to thank Tang Ao. Suddenly, Zhao Tianyi screamed. One of his arms had been cut off by Yuan Lao. Zhao Yuan, you old bastard. How dare you? I will. Before Zhao Tianyi could finish, his leg was cut off by Yuan Lao again. Tang Ao was even more confused. Zhao Yin's goal was to kill Zhao Tianyi, but Yuan Lao could have killed Zhao Tianyi easily. Why didn't he just kill Zhao Tianyi? Zhao Yuan, stop. An ethereal voice came from afar. Then, a handsome man in white tore apart Tang Ao and Zhao Yin's formation and came to Zhao Tianyi's side. Chapter 926. When this person appeared, Tang Ao knew that the Real show was about to begin. However, what Tang Ao didn't expect was that the man in white looked at Tang Ao indifferently and said, Chief Zhao, how about we deal with the unrelated people first before dealing with family matters? A long sword appeared in Qin Yuyang's hand. With a wave of the sword, a swift and sharp sword aura blasted towards Tang Ao. Ding! Just as Tang Ao was about to hide in the chaotic hexagram mirror, a golden broadsword appeared in front of Tang Ao and blocked Qin Yuyang's sword aura. Since this little brother is here, let him be a witness. The mighty middle-aged man that Tang Ao had just noticed appeared in front of Tang Ao. The golden broadsword that had just blocked Qin Yuyang's sword aura for Tang Ao was now in his hand. Thank you for your help, Senior. This middle-aged man wasn't Tang Ao's senior, and even if he hadn't helped, Qin Yuyang wouldn't have been able to hurt Tang Ao. However, because of his help, Tang Ao didn't have to reveal his trump card. I am Zhao Yuanfeng, chief of the Setting Sun tribe. If you don't mind, we can be friends. Zhao Yuanfeng looked calm on the surface, but his heart wasn't calm. When Tang Ao had used the sky polar eyes to spy on him, it had evoked a distant memory. The reason why Zhao Yuanfeng could be where he was today was because of that powerful figure. Back then, that powerful figure had come to the Winter Plains for some reason. Zhao Yuanfeng and Old Man Medicine King had both received pointers from that powerful figure. They had followed that powerful figure and cultivated for half a month. Although he didn't know that powerful figure's name, Zhao Yuanfeng recognized that Tang Ao's eyes were exactly the same as that powerful figure's. After years of investigation, Zhao Yuanfeng knew that this pair of eyes was called the sky polar eyes. Therefore, Tang Ao was most likely that powerful figure's descendant. Kid, Tang Ao, I'll call you Big Brother Zhao from now on. Although Tang Ao did not understand why Zhao Yuanfeng wanted to help him, Tang Ao could feel that Zhao Yuanfeng was not hostile towards him. Haha, little brother Tang Ao, when I'm done with my family matters, I'll take you to the Split Sun tribe for a drink. After Zhao Yuanfeng finished speaking, he looked around coldly. What? Since you're already here, why don't you come out? Do you want me to invite you out? As Zhao Yuanfeng's voice fell, the experts that Tang Ao had just discovered also appeared one after another. Without a doubt, these people were all at the Sea of Souls realm, and there was even a martial artist at the first level of the life and death realm. After these people appeared, they stood behind a beautiful woman in her prime. Zhao Qianni's appearance was somewhat similar to this beautiful woman. After seeing her, Zhao Qianni immediately roared, "Mother, tear this Zhao Yuan's body into 1,000 pieces. Avenge me." Yu Bing looked at Zhao Qianni's miserable appearance and sighed slightly. She then looked at Zhao Yuanfeng and said softly, "Big Brother Feng, why do you have to do this? No matter how unbearable Tianni is, he's still our son. Why do you have to make such a big scene to deal with him?" Yu Bing hugged Zhao Qianni in her arms and took out a medicinal pill to feed Zhao Qianni. "Ha, Sister Bing, if Qin Tianxian heard what you said, he would probably die of anger," Zhao Yuanfeng said sarcastically. Chapter 927. Tang Ao felt a bit helpless. He had gotten himself involved in such a complicated matter for no reason at all. Although this matter did not have much to do with him right now, if Zhao Yuanfeng's side lost, he would probably be in trouble as well. On Zhao Yuanfeng's side, besides Zhao Yuanfeng, who was a first-level life and death realm warrior, there was also Zhao Yin from the 9th floor of Linghai Jing and Yuan Lao from the 7th floor of Linghai Jing. However, on Yu Bing's side, her strength was not to be underestimated. Yu Bing herself was a first-level life and death realm warrior. At the same time, the Elder in Black behind her was also a first-level life and death realm warrior. Besides this Elder in Black, there was also Qin Yuyang, who was half a step into life and death realm. There was also a young man who looked exactly like Qin Yuyang. This young man was also a half step into life and death realm warrior. What Tang Ao did not know was that this young man was Qin Yuyang's elder brother, Qin Yuqing. Qin Yuqing's strength was even higher than Qin Yuyang's. In the Winter Plain, Qin Yuqing was known as the strongest warrior below life and death realm. Even against life and death realm warriors, Qin Yuqing had the power to fight. Thus, Yu Bing's side had 4 life and death realm warriors. Besides these 4 life and death realm warriors, there was also Tu Hong from the 9th floor of Linghai Jing and another 5 warriors from the 9th floor of Linghai Jing. On Zhao Yuanfeng's side, there was only 1 life and death realm warrior. As for Sea of Souls realm warriors, there was Zhao Yin from the 9th floor of Linghai Jing and Yuan Lao from the 7th floor of Linghai Jing. Whether it was life and death realm warriors or Sea of Souls realm warriors, Zhao Yuanfeng's forces were much weaker than Yu Bing's. Tang Ao really did not know where Zhao Yuanfeng got the courage to confront Yu Bing. Only so few people came. "Are you looking down on me, Zhao Yuanfeng?" Zhao Yuanfeng threw the long blade in his hand and stabbed it into the ground. At the same time, a bright golden spear appeared in his hand. Tang Ao was a bit speechless. Tang Ao was just wondering how Zhao Yuanfeng would deal with so many people. And now Zhao Yuanfeng was asking him if he was looking down on him with so few people. But at this moment, Zhao Yuanfeng held the long spear in his hand and pointed it towards the heavens, giving off a feeling that he was invincible. Who dares to look down on you, Zhao Yuanfeng?" A voice rang out from the void. The owner of this voice was a second-level life and death realm martial artist. Zhao Yuanfeng didn't seem surprised to see this person. "I knew it. How could you, Qin Xiaoyu, be absent from such a lively scene?" On the other hand, Tang Ao felt that this brother Zhao that he had just met was too hot-blooded and insolent. Although Tang Ao was also like this, Tang Ao had the confidence to be arrogant. He didn't know if Zhao Yuanfeng was the same. What? Qin Tianxian didn't come? Are you still looking down on me? Zhao Yuanfeng shouted again after Qin Xiaoyu appeared. If it was someone else, Tang Ao might not know. However, Tang Ao knew about Qin Tianxian. This Qin Tianxian was the chief of the Snow Plains #1 tribe, the Heavenly Wolf tribe. At the same time, he was also rumored to be the strongest in the Snow Plains. But ever since Tang Ao saw that mysterious old man not long ago, he had some doubts about whether this Qin Tianxian was the strongest. But even so, Qin Tianchuan's strength was definitely not weak. Otherwise, he wouldn't be rumored to be the strongest in the Snow Plains. Boasting shamelessly, to deal with the current you, there is no need for my brother Tianxian to make a move. Young Master Qin said, a long sword appearing in his hand. Yu Bing looked at Zhao Yuanfeng with a complicated expression and then said softly, Brother Feng, you are a hero of the world. I don't want to humiliate you. Kill yourself. Chapter 928. However, right now, Tang Ao had no spirit power at all, not to mention the life and death realm Yu Bing. Even the Sea of Souls realm warriors behind Yu Bing were not people that Tang Ao could handle. Hearing Yu Bing's words, Zhao Yuanfeng smiled bitterly. You bitch, if you didn't poison me, how could these few people fight me? Zhao Yuanfeng, I have treated you well all these years, and I have never done anything wrong to you. Why did you betray me? As he said these words, the spirit power on Zhao Yuanfeng's body shook violently. Obviously, he was extremely angry. Hearing Zhao Yuanfeng's accusation, Yu Bing opened her mouth, but did not say anything. Everything she had was given by Zhao Yuanfeng, and the martial art that she trained was the same as Zhao Yuanfeng's. Her life was also saved by Zhao Yuanfeng, and all these years, Zhao Yuanfeng had been very loving to her. Zhao Yuanfeng was right. All these years, Zhao Yuanfeng had indeed not done anything wrong to her. However, between her and Zhao Yuanfeng, there was one thing that she could never let go, and that was that Zhao Yuanfeng was the murderer of her family. Therefore, she poisoned Zhao Yuanfeng, betrayed him, and turned the heaven and earth spear Zhao Yuanfeng, who was as famous as Qin Tianxian and Yao Heng, into this state. Yuan Lao In Tu Hong, you three protect little friend Tang Ao. Today let me, Zhao Yuanfeng, fight to my heart's content. After Zhao Yuanfeng said this, the long spear in his hand shook and rushed out. Although Zhao Yuanfeng was only at the first level of life and death realm, his long spear was aimed at Qin Xiaoyu, who was at the second level of life and death realm. Although Qin Xiaoyu was arrogant and had a higher cultivation than Zhao Yuanfeng, he did not dare to be careless. Seeing Zhao Yuanfeng rushing at him, Qin Xiaoyu did not dare to be careless. He raised his sword to block, and at the same time, he slapped a protective charm on his body. The moment Zhao Yuanfeng attacked Qin Xiaoyu, everyone on Yu Bing's side also rushed at Zhao Yuanfeng. Tang Ao had a good impression of Zhao Yuanfeng, and he didn't want to see such a heroic big brother die here. Therefore, Tang Ao hurriedly said to Yuan Lao, Old mister, I am a 6th grade formation master. How about we work together to set up a 6th grade formation to help brother Zhao? Yuan Lao kindly shook his head at Tang Ao. Although Yuanfeng has been poisoned for many years, these few people won't be able to do anything to him. Foster father will be fine. Tu Hong, who had a slightly horrifying appearance, said as well. Tang Ao didn't expect Tu Hong to also be Zhao Yuanfeng's adopted son. But looking at Zhao Yin's indifferent expression, Tang Ao understood that Zhao Yin knew about this. The battle between the two of them was just an act. However, Zhao Yin was not as optimistic as Tu Hong. He frowned and said, Elder Yuan, I will go and help my godfather. You can't. You might be strong, but you're definitely no match for Qin Xiaoyu and the others. What I set up here is not a trapping array, but a teleportation array. If Yuanfeng can't win, I will activate the teleportation array to send the three of you away. Speaking up to this point, Yuan Lao's expression turned serious. Zhao Yin, Tu Hong. The two of you have received Yuanfeng's inheritance. If Yuanfeng dies, the two of you must take revenge for him. Aha, Qin Xiaoyu, is this all you've got? Compared to Qin Tianxian, you're not just a little bit weaker. In midair, Zhao Yuanfeng stabbed out with his spear at lightning speed. Thunder rumbled, and the space around him trembled. The golden lightning tore through Qin Xiaoyu's defense, and with an unstoppable force, it pierced through his left shoulder. Chapter 929. At this moment, Tang Ao was even more eager to regain his strength. Without strength, there would be no dignity, and even his own safety could not be guaranteed. Previously, when it came to the alchemy conference, Tang Ao only wanted to get a random ranking. But now, Tang Ao decided to fight for first place. After this trip to the Xidagarba cemetery, Tang Ao was determined to regain his cultivation. Not only Tang Ao, but Zhao Yin and Tu Hong were also filled with emotions when they saw Zhao Yuanfeng's unstoppable figure. At this moment, the two of them hated themselves for being too weak to help Zhao Yuanfeng. Yuan Lao also sighed. After Zhao Yuanfeng was poisoned by Yubing, he was mentally and physically exhausted. If not for the fact that he held back his anger, he would have died long ago. Back then, Yao Heng's strength was unparalleled in the Frost Plains. Only Zhao Yuanfeng could exchange blows with him. Now, the strongest person in the Frost Plains, Qin Tianxian, could not even last 30 moves against Yao Heng and Zhao Yuanfeng. Scram! Zhao Yuanfeng shouted as he faced the storm of attacks from more than 10 people. His spear moved like a dragon. Two sounds rang out. Two peak martial artists on the 9th floor of Linghai Jing clutched their throats in disbelief and fell to the ground. After these two martial artists fell, there was another bang sound of an explosion. It was Qin Yuqing's head being smashed by Zhao Yuanfeng. Big brother, I will kill you. Qin Yuyang was enraged when he saw his brother fall. Blood splattered everywhere. Yu Bing's sword had cut off Zhao Yuanfeng's left arm. Ha ha ha, after so many years, the Ice Soul sword is still as sharp as ever. Excellent, excellent. Zhao Yuanfeng did not care about his broken arm. He laughed wildly and praised Yu Bing's sword for its sharpness. Blood splattered on Zhao Yuanfeng's back. Qin Xiaoyu's judge brush had pierced Zhao Yuanfeng's lung. Zhao Yuanfeng spat out a mouthful of blood. At the same time, the spear in his right arm moved like a poisonous snake, piercing through the black-robed expert's heart. The black-robed expert looked at Zhao Yuanfeng in disbelief. Zhao Yuanfeng also looked at the face under the black robe. It's you? After seeing the appearance of the black-robed man, Zhao Yuanfeng threw away his spear and stepped forward to grab the man's throat. Speak. Who was the one who killed Yun Yun on Sorcerer Cloud Peak? At this moment, Zhao Yuanfeng was like a madman. He turned a deaf ear to the attacks from the others. Ah, you'll never know, the man said as he continuously spat out blood. But at this moment, Zhao Yuanfeng's eyes flashed. At this moment, he understood many things. I know, the three black-clothed men who fought with me back then were Qin Tianxian, Qin Tianming, and you, Qin Tianzheng. The three of you massacred the entire Wu Yun tribe. I received Yun Yun's distress signal and rushed over. That's why I happened to bump into the three of you. That's right, that's right. Back then, Qin Tianxian took a palm strike from me and wanted to take away Qin Tianming's corpse. I think he was afraid that I would recognize you three brothers. Haha, Zhao Yuanfeng, so what if you recognize me? Didn't your woman still give birth to my big brother's son? With his heart pierced, the black-clothed man found it difficult to speak. However, he seemed to think of something. He smiled viciously and said, You definitely don't know. Zhao Yuanfeng didn't let the black-clothed man continue. He crushed his throat. Chapter 930. Tang Ao hadn't been in the Winter Plains for a long time, so he didn't know much about the feud between the various tribes. Even so, Tang Ao still sympathized with Tu Hong. One of Tu Hong's eyeballs had been plucked out, and the left side of his body seemed to have been crushed. Tu Hong's sorrowful cry had attracted Yu Bing's attention. Yu Bing's voluptuous body trembled slightly. After glancing at Tang Ao and Yuan Lao, she looked at Tu Hong. Who are you? What's your relationship with the Witch Cloud tribe? If you dare to lie, I'll cut off your tongue. Yu Bing's beautiful eyes stared at Tu Hong as if she wanted to see through him. Tu Hong, don't be afraid. Although he knew that he couldn't defeat the life and death realm Yu Bing, Zhao Yin still stood by Tu Hong's side. Both of them were Zhao Yuanfeng's adopted sons, so they were very close, almost like brothers. Yuan Lao also had 2 more array flags in his hands. He looked at Yu Bing with caution. Tang Ao had also communicated with the battle Saint Bone life spirit. If Yu Bing suddenly attacked, Tang Ao could help Tu Hong block a blow. Godfather's a hero, but I'm not a wastrel. You bitch, listen carefully. I am the son of the Witch Cloud tribe's leader, Yin Hong. Back then, Qin Tianxian and his 2 brothers coveted the Witch Cloud tribe's treasure and slaughtered the entire tribe. In order to force out the treasure's whereabouts, they crushed the left side of my body in front of my father and plucked out my eyeball. I fainted and was saved by Godfather. Before Tu Hong could finish, Yu Bing's sword fell to the ground with a clang. Then, to Tang Ao and the other's surprise, Yu Bing took a step forward and hugged Tu Hong. However, Tu Hong's broken body flashed backward, putting some distance between him and Yu Bing. What are you doing? I may be a cripple, but I'm not someone a bitch like you can humiliate. Yu Bing's eyes quickly turned red. She sobbed and said, Little brother, I'm your big sister Yun Bing. Don't you recognize me? Yu Bing waved her jade-like hand towards her face, revealing her beautiful face. Her pretty face wasn't inferior to Qin Zhao's, but her mature and gentle aura was fatally attractive. However, Tu Hong's left eye had been removed, and his right eye was extremely turbid. It was obvious that he couldn't see Yu Bing's face clearly. Ha, bitch, my big sister Yin Yin is my godfather's wife, and my second sister Yin Bing has been missing for many years. But my second sister is also a heroine among women. How can you defile her? Bang! Not far away, a loud sound rang out. Another figure was blasted down by Zhao Yuanfeng. At this moment, there were only 3 people left in the sky. One of them was naturally Zhao Yuanfeng, and the other 2 were Qin Xiaoyu and Qin Yuyang. At that moment, Qin Yuyang's aura was no weaker than Zhao Yuanfeng's. It was unknown whether he had taken some medicinal pill or used some secret technique. Yu Bing's aura was no weaker than Yu Bing's. It was unknown what kind of pellet or secret art he had used. Yu Bing had cut off his left arm, and his body was riddled with holes. Fighting against more than 10 experts at the first layer of life and death realm was not easy for Yu Bing. Ha ha! Qin Xiaoyu, you haven't made any progress after all these years. Then Yu Bing looked at Qin Yuyang. You brat, you're much stronger than your father. If you don't die today, I'm afraid no one will be your opponent in the ice plane in 10 years. Chapter 9:31. Ding! Tang Ao's green lotus sword spirit was blocked by Yu Bing. Seeing Yu Bing block Tang Ao's attack, Tu Hong bitterly laughed. Ha, bitch! You are protecting Qin Tianxuan's little bastard, and you still call yourself my sister Yun Bing. Today, even if I cannot kill Qin Tianxian with my own hands to avenge my sister and my tribesmen, I will personally smash Qin Tianxuan's little bastard. Regarding Yu Bing's identity, Tang Ao also had some doubts. However, regardless of whether Yu Bing was Yun Bing or not, it would not affect Tang Ao's decision to kill Zhao Tianyi. 7 Slaughter, Saint Dao. The green lotus sword split into 7 and spiraled in front of Tang Ao. At the same time, an incomparably powerful aura slowly condensed on the green lotus sword spirit. Tang Ao's soul power was constantly being extracted by the green lotus sword spirit. Tang Ao's complexion became increasingly pale, and his already shattered spirit ocean was now on the verge of collapse. Stop! Suddenly, the formation set up by Tang Ao and Yuan Lao collapsed, and a figure wearing a jade crown appeared in midair. Seeing this person, Tu Hong clenched his teeth and wanted to rush forward, but Yuan Lao and Zhao Yin hurriedly pulled him back. Zhao Yuanfeng, on the other hand, laughed wildly. Qin Tianxian, how dare you send a doppelganger? Even so, you still don't have the guts to fight me? Doppelganger? Tang Ao was shocked. At this moment, Qin Tianxuan's doppelganger had the strength of life and death realm level 3. If the doppelganger had this kind of cultivation, how powerful would the real body be? Although Tang Ao really wanted to kill Zhao Qiani, Tang Ao still decisively put away the green lotus sword spirit. At this moment, whether or not he could kill Zhao Qiani was still uncertain. However, Tang Ao was sure that once he attacked, Qin Tianxuan's life and death realm level 3 strength could absolutely kill him in an instant. Qin Tianxian, the one who annihilated the entire Wu Yun tribe was you? Yu Bing stared at Qin Tianxian with her beautiful eyes and asked, "Since you already know, why ask me?" Qin Tianxian did not look at Yu Bing, but instead stared at Zhao Yuanfeng. Zhao Yuanfeng had a one-time use treasure on him. Today, such a big battle was to force Zhao Yuanfeng to use this treasure. However, what disappointed Qin Tianxian was that after so many years, Zhao Yuanfeng was still so terrifying. He had no choice but to reveal his incarnation. However, Qin Tianxian was very determined. Even if he lost this incarnation, he had to use up Zhao Yuanfeng's treasure. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to eat or sleep in peace. "Then do you know who I am?" Yu Bing stared at Qin Tianxian resentfully. "You are Yun Yun's younger sister and Yun Hong's older sister, Yun Bing. Your sister was killed by me, and I also killed your third brother." "That's not right." Qin Tianxian glanced at Tu Hong and said, "I didn't expect that there would be two fish that escaped from the Wizard Cloud's tribe. I was too kind back then." Tu Hong roared and wanted to fight Qin Tianxian to the death. However, he was firmly held back by Zhao Yin and Yuan Lao. After he was held back, Tu Hong yelled at Yu Bing, "Bitch, if you still have any feelings for the Wizard Cloud's tribe, kill that bastard Qin Tianxian." "It's not like that." Yu Bing helplessly fell to the ground. "Qin Tianxian told me that Yao Heng and Zhao Yuanfeng were greedy for the Wizard Cloud's treasure, so they annihilated the entire Wizard Cloud's tribe. When I returned home, I also saw Zhao Yuanfeng appear in the Wizard Cloud's mountain of corpses and sea of blood." Chapter 932. Tang Ao put away the immortal slaughtering saber and said to Zhao Yuanfeng, "Brother Zhao, you are a hero of the world. I will not disgrace your name. If I have the ability in the future, I will definitely slaughter the Heavenly Wolf tribe." "Good brother." Zhao Yuanfeng laughed and charged towards Qin Tianxuan's avatar. Qin Tianxian no longer had any thoughts of fighting with Zhao Yuanfeng. Since the immortal slaughtering saber was on Tang Ao, wouldn't it be better for him to kill Tang Ao and take the immortal slaughtering saber? With a shake of his sword, Qin Tianxuan's 3-foot-long sword pierced toward Zhao Yuanfeng's heart. Zhao Yuanfeng waved his hand, and the 100 refined divine spear returned to his hand. With a flick of the spear, Qin Tianxuan's sword was deflected. Qin Tianxian did not retreat and pressed down with his sword. At the same time, he struck out with his palm. Zhao Yuanfeng's arm had been cut off by Yu Bing, so he naturally could not take Qin Tianxuan's palm. Kacha, several of Zhao Yuanfeng's ribs were broken, but Zhao Yuanfeng still fought to the death. "Ah, this is great. Qin Tianxian, although you are weak, your ability is not weak. If you were here with your main body, I am afraid that Zhao Yuanfeng, would definitely die today. But if it is just an avatar, you're looking down on me." Below, Tang Ao continued to condense the soul power in his soul sea. After all the soul power gathered on the Jade Bone Life Spirit, Tang Ao's mind moved and the Jade Bone Life Spirit flowed into Zhao Yuanfeng's body. After the Jade Bone Life Spirit began to heal Zhao Yuanfeng, Tang Ao was shocked. At this moment, Zhao Yuanfeng was already at the point of exhaustion. His internal organs were being corroded by the poison at every moment. At the same time, Tang Ao also understood why Zhao Yuanfeng was so arrogant. It was because 90% of the spiritual power in his body was used to suppress the poison. Otherwise, Zhao Yuanfeng's cultivation would not be much weaker than the mysterious old man that Tang Ao had seen. After thinking of this, Tang Ao immediately transmitted his voice to Zhao Yuanfeng. Brother Zhao, I can use the J-Bone Life Spirit to suppress the poison in your body for 10 breaths of time. Can you kill Qin Tianxian within 10 breaths of time? Zhao Yuanfeng had originally planned to perish together with Qin Tianxuan's avatar. Now that he heard Tang Ao's words, Zhao Yuanfeng was overjoyed and immediately sent a sound transmission to Tang Ao. There's no need for 10 breaths of time. If I can use my full strength, I could destroy his avatar in 3 breaths of time. Okay, big brother Zhao, do it. After Tang Ao finished speaking, he released his Jade-Bone Life Spirit. At the same time, Zhao Yuanfeng's aura suddenly rose. Life and Death Realm First Layer, Third Layer, Fifth Layer, Seventh Layer. Zhao Yuanfeng's cultivation only stopped rising when he reached the 7th level of Life and Death Realm. After seeing Zhao Yuanfeng's cultivation soar, Qin Tianxuan's expression changed slightly. He then said to Qin Xiaoyu and Qin Tianxian, "Return to the Heavenly Wolf Tribe. Where are you going?" How could Zhao Yuanfeng miss such a rare opportunity? However, before Zhao Yuanfeng could make a move against the 3, Qin Tianxuan's avatar suddenly exploded. The self-explosion of a 3rd-level Life and Death Realm avatar was extremely frightening. Zhao Yuanfeng looked at Tang Ao and the others below and sighed. Immediately after, a vast spiritual power rolled out from his body, and a sky-covering barrier instantly covered Tang Ao and the others. The aftermath of the explosion flattened the entire Black Wind Valley. The surrounding mountains disappeared, and the ground was full of holes. Qin Xiaoyu and Qin Tianxian disappeared without trace. Chapter 9:33. However, when Tang Ao and Yu Bing arrived under the rubble rolled down, and Zhao Yuanfeng stood up from the rubble in a shaky manner. Qin Tianxian is getting more and more powerful. He actually managed to put himself in such a difficult situation. Zhao Yuanfeng looked at Tang Ao and laughed bitterly. Tang Ao sat down cross-legged. When he was suppressing the poison in Zhao Yuanfeng's body, Tang Ao's soul power had been completely drained by the Jade-Bone Life Spirit. Big brother Zhao is too humble. If not for the fact that the poison in your body is too powerful and you use more than 90% of your spiritual power to suppress it, even if Qin Tianxian himself came, I'm afraid he wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. Zhao Yuanfeng laughed boldly, but shook his head. Back then, Yin Yin told me that the Wizard Cloud tribe had a secret treasure. Now, it seems that Qin Tianxuan's avatar technique is the Wizard Cloud tribe's secret treasure. The original body and the avatar can cultivate at the same time, but the avatar's strength is 60% or more weaker than the original body. Qin Tianxuan's avatar is already at the 3rd level of the Life and Death Realm, so the original body is probably at the peak of the Life and Death Realm. At this point, Zhao Yuanfeng coughed violently. Not to mention me. I'm afraid that even Yao Heng is no match for him. Yao Heng and I had a fortuitous encounter, and it seems that Qin Tianxian isn't someone with bad luck. He must have had some fortuitous encounters over the years, but his spiritual power, just now. Zhao Yuanfeng didn't continue and looked at Yu Bing. Yu Bing took a deep breath and nodded. I also gave the cultivation method you gave me to Qin Tianxian. I know I've let you down, and I won't beg for your forgiveness. Just kill me. Yu Bing said as she handed the Ice Soul Sword to Zhao Yuanfeng. Zhao Yuanfeng smiled bitterly and handed the sword to Tang Ao. Tang Ao was stunned. Although Yu Bing was extremely hateful, everything had come alight now. Yu Bing was also one of the victims. Could it be that Zhao Yuanfeng wanted him to kill Yu Bing for him? This sword was given to you by your ancestor. Now that I'm returning it to you, it could be considered returning it to its rightful owner. Zhao Yuanfeng said indifferently as Tang Ao was lost in thought. His ancestor taught Tang Ao. His ancestor taught it to him. Seeing the doubt in Tang Ao's eyes, Zhao Yuanfeng explained, "My master is called Yao Li. Although Senior Yao Li taught me cultivation, he did not accept me as a disciple." Zhao Yuanfeng's Zhao Yao gave him the sword. Tang Ao suddenly understood what Zhao Yuanfeng meant. Shennong Emperor's common name was Yao Li. Because the Sky Polar Eyes was created by Shennong Emperor, Zhao Yuanfeng must have seen his Sky Polar Eyes and mistakenly thought that he was a descendant of Shennong Emperor. Bing. Zhao Yao Yao Ting Ao, Yuanfeng, the Shun Yao Yao Yao, Chun Zhao Yuaner. Yuaner Bing Master is my master Tang Bing Yang. The Yuaner, Tang Ao, immediately said, "Tian Chun, I King. How? Yu Feng Li Li Yu, Yao Brother Ao, Hiang. Li Li Tang Ao. Brother Tang Ao, I didn't expect Yao Li to accept you as a disciple." Zhao Yuanfeng took the sword and said to Yu Bing, "You can leave. This is a misunderstanding. I, Zhao Yuanfeng, can distinguish between kindness and hatred. Since you won't kill me, I'm willing to stay and take care of you." Yu Bing wanted to say something, but she couldn't say it. "Since you won't kill me, I'm willing to stay and take care of you." Yu Bing wanted to say something, but she couldn't. Chapter 9:34. After resting for a while, Tang Ao and the rest rushed to the Split Sun Tribe. The Split Sun Tribe wasn't far from here. Zhao Yuanfeng was seriously injured, so they couldn't move too fast. Other than Tang Ao and Zhao Yuanfeng, Yu Bing was also following behind them. Yu Bing seemed to have lost her soul. Every time she looked at Zhao Yuanfeng, her eyes were filled with guilt. Along the way, Tang Ao was thinking about how to detoxify Zhao Yuanfeng. Although the Jade Bone Life Spirit could detoxify the poison in Zhao Yuanfeng's body, it was too slow. It would take hundreds of years for the Jade Bone Life Spirit to completely remove the poison in Zhao Yuanfeng's body. However, Tang Ao was a level 6 spirit alchemist. As long as he knew the ingredients of the poison, Tang Ao was confident that he could detoxify Zhao Yuanfeng. Just as Tang Ao was thinking about how to make the detoxification pill, Zhao Yuanfeng suddenly stopped. Zhao Yuanfeng laughed wildly. "Haha, as expected of Qin Tianxian. In such a short time, he actually destroyed my Split Sun Tribe. Ha ha ha, Qin Tianxian. I, Zhao Yuanfeng, swear that as long as I am alive, I will not live under the same sky as you." Zhao Yuanfeng screamed in pain and fainted. Tang Ao also saw the tragic state of the Split Sun Tribe. At this moment, the Split Sun Tribe was covered in blood and corpses were piled up like a mountain. In the entire Split Sun Tribe, be it the old or the weak, women or children, no one survived. Yuan Lao and the rest looked at the tragic scene with solemn expressions and didn't speak for a long time. This time, Tu Hong didn't say anything about finding Qin Tianxian for revenge. Instead, he was strangely quiet. "Yuan Lao, this is the Snow Feather Tribe's current settlement. Although it's only a small tribe, it's very safe. You guys search for survivors nearby and move the entire Snow Feather Tribe." Since Qin Tianxian had already fallen out with Zhao Yuanfeng, he probably wouldn't let Yuan Lao and the rest go so easily. Yuan Lao nodded and asked, "Where is Tang Ao planning to go?" "I'm going to participate in the Alchemy Valley's Alchemy Conference. If Qin Tianxian attacks me during the Alchemy Conference, I'll accept it." If Tang Ao wanted to recover his strength, he had to enter the Xitigarbus Cemetery to search for the spiritual ice fruit. If he wanted to enter the Xitigarbus Cemetery, Tang Ao had to participate in the Alchemy Conference. You don't have to worry about that. Even though the Medicine King, Yao Heng, hasn't shown his face for many years, his strength is definitely stronger than Qin Tianxuan's. As long as you can participate in the Alchemy Assembly, Qin Tianxian will definitely not dare to make things difficult for you. He has been scheming for so many years, yet he still doesn't dare to personally fight with Yuanfeng. How would he dare to bear the wrath of the Medicine King? Tang Ao was very grateful after hearing Yuan Elder's words. "Thank you for your guidance, Elder Yuan. Farewell then, wait. Zhao Yuanfeng, who had just fainted, woke up again. Come with me. At this moment, Zhao Yuanfeng no longer had the elegant demeanor he once had. Even though he still looked middle-aged, he looked more like an old man with one foot in the grave. My Split Sun tribe had a treasure trove. There were all kinds of spiritual herbs that the Split Sun tribe had stored over the years. Now that the Split Sun tribe is gone, I'll give you these spiritual herbs. Zhao Yuanfeng brought Tang Ao to an underground tunnel. This tunnel extended in all directions, and there were some murals on the walls. Chapter 935. After observing for a while, Tang Ao realized that this stone wall was not only reinforced by an array, but it was also made of solid basalt. Tang Ao knew that this kind of stone door probably couldn't even be broken with a low-level divine weapon, let alone an array. Unless Tang Ao had peak battle power and shot it open with the primordial sacred sky bow. Let me see if I can break this stone door open. Zhao Yuanfeng still didn't plan to ask Yu Bing for the other key. Instead, he gathered his spirit power and prepared to use brute force to break this stone door. Just as Tang Ao was about to stop him, his spirit power suddenly scanned Yu Bing. You don't even want to talk to me now? Then I might as well die. As Yu Bing spoke, a dagger appeared in her hand, and she stabbed towards her heart. Stop! Zhao Yuanfeng grabbed Yu Bing's dagger and used force to shatter it. Then, he held Yu Bing in his arms. Tang Ao kept looking at the two, so he naturally saw the sad smile on Yu Bing's face and the endless tears in her eyes. She seemed to be happy and regretful at the same time. Amidst the boundless mountains, a young man dressed in black slowly walked forward. This young man was Tang Ao, who had left the Split Sun tribe. In the Split Sun tribe's treasury, Tang Ao was surprised to find more than 100 wood ice fruits. After eating so many wood ice fruits, although Tang Ao's strength hadn't completely recovered, Tang Ao's spirit sea could already store spirit power. Right now, Tang Ao's cultivation was at the first level of the spirit sea realm, but Tang Ao's battle power couldn't be measured by cultivation. As for Tang Ao's spirit sea, it had completely recovered. Tang Ao used the amber Ganoderma that he had traded with the mysterious old man to make a batch of amber soul pills. After eating all 6 amber soul pills, Tang Ao's broken spirit sea had completely recovered. Because of this injury, Tang Ao had been weak for a year. Until now, Tang Ao barely had the strength to protect himself in this strange place. However, if he were to meet an expert at Qin Tianquan's level, Tang Ao's strength would not be enough. Not to mention Qin Tianxian, Tang Ao would most likely not be able to deal with the so-called top 10 experts of the ice and snow plains. Fortunately, Tang Ao wasn't going to fight. He was going to the Yunlu mountain range to participate in the alchemy conference. On Tang Ao's back was a dark blue longsword. Zhao Yuanfeng called this sword the Ice Soul Sword, but Tang Ao knew that this sword didn't belong to the Shinnong Emperor. It was Ming Di's personal sword, the Netherworld Sword. Since Tang Ao had inherited Emperor Hades' legacy, it was only right for him to take back the sword. Moreover, this sword couldn't unleash its true power in Yu Bing's hands. Only Tang Ao, who had inherited the underworld life spirit, could unleash the true power of the Netherworld Sword. Thinking of Yu Bing, Tang Ao felt a little emotional. She was a natural beauty with a hard life, but in the end, the heavens still cared for her, allowing her and Zhao Yuanfeng to bury the hatchet. However, Qin Tianyi wasn't dead yet. If Zhao Yuanfeng wanted to kill Qin Tianyi in the future, wouldn't Yu Bing be embarrassed again? Thinking of this, Tang Ao secretly decided that Tang Ao, would kill Qin Tianyi as a reward for Yu Bing and Zhao Yuanfeng keeping the Netherworld Sword for so many years. On a mountain path, Tang Ao stopped. There was a dense mountain range in front of Tang Ao. According to the map Xiuling had given him, Tang Ao knew that as long as he passed through this mountain range, he would arrive at the Yunlu mountain range. At this moment, Tang Ao was a little worried. He didn't know if Qing Xiao and Zi Yin had arrived at the Yunlu mountain range. Back then, the two of them had used the space jade talisman to escape, but he didn't know where they had teleported to. Chapter 9:36. The ice and snow plain was vast, even larger than the black-yellow continent. Tang Ao took the map that Xiaoling had given him. Through this map, Tang Ao knew that he had only been to a small area in the eastern part of the ice and snow plain for such a long time. In his previous life, Tang Ao had traveled across the black-yellow continent. Although he did not know the place like the back of his hand, Tang Ao had been to most of the places in the black-yellow continent. Therefore, Tang Ao could tell that any one of the 4 regions in the ice and snow plain would not be any smaller than the Xuanhuan continent. However, it was different from the Xuanhuan continent. Although some places in the black-yellow continent had sparse natural yuan power, there were still many places with rich natural yuan power. However, these places were all occupied by the big sects, and normal people could not enjoy them. However, in the ice and snow plain, Tang Ao found that no matter where he went, the natural yuan power was extremely sparse. However, contrary to this sparse natural yuan power, the ice and snow plain also produced life and death realm warriors, and more than one. As for warriors above the life and death realm, Tang Ao had not met any yet. At the same time, Tang Ao also felt that even if there were some unknown secrets in the ice and snow plain, it would not be easy to produce astral-reaching realm warriors. After going through this Cloud Ridge Mountain, we will reach the Cloud Foothill Mountain. Tang Ao took out the map and compared it. From the gloomy poison swamp to the Cloud Foothill Mountain, it was almost across the eastern part of the ice and snow plain. Seeing that the alchemy conference organized by the medicine-making valley was about to begin, Tang Ao wondered if Bing Xiao and the rest had arrived yet. This time, regarding the quota for the Earth Bodhisattva Cemetery, Tang Ao did not feel any pressure. As a rank 6 alchemist, Tang Ao did not believe that there would be alchemists more powerful than him in a place like the ice and snow plain. However, although Tang Ao was aiming for the first place, if there were truly powerful alchemists participating, he would not have any regrets getting the second place. Moreover, Tang Ao felt that if the information he had obtained during this period of time was accurate, there would not be many 5th-grade alchemists appearing in every alchemy conference, and 6th-grade alchemists had never appeared before. In this way, Tang Ao obtaining first place in the alchemy conference was even more certain. Who is it? Come out. Tang Ao had just been thinking about the alchemy conference. He had unconsciously swept his soul power out and discovered that there was a figure following him not too far away. Hearing Tang Ao's scolding, a petite figure wearing a blue princess dress timidly walked out from behind a big tree. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to follow you. On the way here, I heard you asking about the alchemy conference. I'm also an alchemist who is participating in the alchemy conference. I don't know the way. I'm sorry." Xia Lulu's hands tugged at the corner of her clothes as she lowered her head timidly. Her innocent big eyes were filled with nervousness. Although Xia Lulu's voice was very soft, and she was a little incoherent due to her nervousness, Tang Ao still understood what Xia Lulu meant. The little girl in front of him was also an alchemist who was preparing to head to the Yunlu mountain range to participate in the alchemy conference. However, she seemed to have lost her way and coincidentally heard Tang Ao asking about the alchemy conference. Therefore, Xia Lulu felt that Tang Ao should also be participating in the alchemy conference, so she followed behind Tang Ao from afar. "Which tribe are you from? What's your name?" Tang Ao said warmly when he saw the little girl's nervous expression. The little girl in front of him was only at the 3rd stage of the body refining realm, so she posed no threat to Tang Ao. Chapter 9:37. Tang Ao looked at Xia Lulu and felt that she was really too cute. At the same time, Tang Ao also knew that Xia Lulu's identity was definitely not ordinary. At this moment, there was an expert from the 9th floor of Linghai Jing secretly protecting Xia Lulu. After using his soul power to detect this expert, Tang Ao also knew why Xia Lulu, who was only at the third level of the body refining realm, was able to travel through the dangerous Yunling mountain range. After Xia Lulu introduced herself, she looked at Tang Ao and asked, "Hey, what's your name?" "I'm Tang Ao, an alchemist from the Snow Feather tribe. Aren't you afraid to travel through the Yunling mountain range alone?" Tang Ao walked slowly as he casually asked, "I'm not afraid." Xia Lulu clenched her small fists and constantly cheered herself on. Clearly, the truth was not as easy as she said. "You're not afraid? Then I'll leave first. Follow this path, and you will reach the Yunlu mountain range." As Tang Ao spoke, he got up and was about to fly towards the Yunlu mountain range. In reality, Tang Ao felt that Xia Lulu was too cute, so he couldn't help but want to play with her. "No, big brother Tang Ao, it's not safe for you to be alone. It's not good for us to go to the Yunlu mountain range together." Seeing that Tang Ao was about to leave, Xia Lulu was a little anxious. Although she now knew the path to the Yunlu mountain range, there was still a long way to go. Xia Lulu was also worried that they would encounter something scary along the way. Although Xia Lulu didn't know how strong Tang Ao was, she felt very safe when she was by Tang Ao's side. "I'm not afraid of danger. If you are, I'll send you to the beast carriage to the Yunlu mountain range." "Oh, big brother Tang Ao, let me tell you, there are benefits to being with me." Seeing that Tang Ao was about to leave, Xia Lulu blinked her big eyes as though she had thought of something. Tang Ao was originally prepared to tease this cute girl to ease the boredom. Seeing that Xia Lulu was so serious, Tang Ao was also very curious about what benefits she was talking about. "What benefits? And look, I'm so cute. Many beautiful sisters like me. This way, big brother Tang Ao will have many opportunities to interact with beauties. On the way, I saw many alchemist brothers, and they all have beautiful sisters by their side. As long as big brother Tang Ao stays by my side, you will soon have one." Xia Lulu said to Tang Ao with a smile. Hearing Lulu's words, Tang Ao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This little girl's thoughts were indeed fresh, and she actually said such benefits. Seeing Tang Ao's bitter smile, Xia Lulu continued to say, "Big brother Tang Ao, and I feel that the beasts in this mountain range won't hurt me. If big brother Tang Ao is with me, we might not run into any powerful beasts." Tang Ao couldn't help but feel that Xia Lulu was too innocent. It was not that she wouldn't run into beasts in the Yunling mountain range, or that the beasts wouldn't hurt her. It was because there was a peak-level sea of Soul's realm warrior following her in the dark. Before she even ran into any beasts, the beasts around Xia Lulu might have already been taken care of by this peak-level sea of Soul's realm warrior. Up until now, Tang Ao had seen peak-level sea of Soul's realm warriors in the snow plain, as well as life and death realm warriors. However, Tang Ao had never seen a monstrous beast with such strength. Therefore, Tang Ao understood that with the protection of that peak-level sea of Soul's realm warrior, Xia Lulu would not run into any danger in the Yunling mountain range. Chapter 9:38. After Tang Ao asked, Xia Lulu looked at Tang Ao very seriously and said, "Because I want to prove that I can already do big things. I want to prove my own abilities." "All right, big brother Tang Ao, are you sure that I could do big things?" Xia Lulu's beautiful big eyes looked at Tang Ao expectantly. Tang Ao looked at Xia Lulu, who was at the third level of the body, refining realm, as well as her expectant gaze. Tang Ao could only say against his will, and if Xia Lulu works hard, he should be able to do some big things now. Tang Ao was also a little suspicious, not knowing what Xia Lulu was referring to. Does big brother Tang Ao think so too? Then I'll get Little White to send us to the Yunlu market quickly," Xia Lulu said as he took out a sparkling and translucent pearl. Following Xia Lulu's soul powers connection, the golden pearl released a resplendent golden light. After the golden light landed on the ground, it transformed into a pure, snow-white Pegasus. The Pegasus slowly retracted its wings and came to Xia Lulu's side. Under Tang Ao's astonished gaze, the snow-white Pegasus spoke to Xia Lulu. "Princess, your highness, where do you want me to send you this time?" "Little White, I'm going to the Cloud Foothill Mountain Range this time." Xia Lulu rubbed the Pegasus's head. "Cloud Foothill Mountain Range? What kind of place is that?" "Big Brother Tang Ao said that we can reach the Cloud Foothill Mountain Range by heading east." Xia Lulu was originally a person with no sense of direction, so she naturally did not know where the Cloud Foothill Mountain Range was. "So that's how it is. Your Highness, then let's go." The Pegasus crouched down and let Xia Lulu ride on its back. "Big Brother Tang Ao, come on as well. Little White's flying speed is very fast." Hearing Xia Lulu's words, the Pegasus's face turned bitter. Its speed was fast, but it was still in its infancy, and its weight-carrying ability was not good enough. But since Sherla said so, it could not refuse. Fortunately, Tang Ao could tell that the Heaven Horse was in a difficult position, so he chuckled and said, "My speed is not slow either. I'll follow you guys from behind." This was the first time Tang Ao had seen a demonic beast like the Heaven Horse. Even though the Seven Kills sect did have an introduction to this type of demon beast, Tang Ao really did not know much about its flying speed. Therefore, Tang Ao only said that he would follow Xia Lulu and did not say that he would go with Xia Lulu. Hua hua hua. After Xia Lulu sat down, the Heaven Horse's wings slowly flapped. Following this, traces of green wind-type spiritual energy gathered around the Pegasus. "Ah!" Xia Lulu screamed. The Pegasus stepped onto the clouds and soared into the sky. The speed at which the heavenly horse flew made Tang Ao sweat a little. Fortunately, he was humble just now and did not say that he was going with the heavenly horse. Because with the speed of the heavenly horse, even if Tang Ao was at his peak, he would not be able to keep up, let alone in his current state. With a flash of green light, the Pegasus and Xia Lulu's figures disappeared from Tang Ao's line of sight. But what made Tang Ao astonished was, why was the Pegasus not flying to the east but to the west? Suddenly, Tang Ao thought of a possibility, and that was that Xia Lulu had no sense of direction. Her pet might have inherited his master's habits, and not only did it have no sense of direction, it also had no sense of direction. Chapter 9:39. Tang Ao laughed bitterly, while the expert who was secretly protecting Xia Lulu was about to vomit blood. Back then, he knew that protecting Xia Lulu, the little princess, was not an easy task. Now it seemed that it was not only not easy, but also tiring to death. Along the way, he couldn't even remember how many demon beasts and enemies he had secretly helped Xia Lulu kill. "Xiao Bai, you're flying too fast. Tang Ao can't even keep up with us." Xia Lulu sat on the sky horse and looked back, but she did not see Tang Ao. Sorry, I really like flying freely." The Heaven Horse listened to Xia Lulu's words. The clouds under its 4 feet slowly dissipated, and it started to leisurely stroll in the air, waiting for Tang Ao's arrival. Xiao Bai, I know this place." Xia Lulu looked at the small town below in surprise. The Heaven Horse flapped its wings lightly. "Princess, your highness, have we arrived at the Yunlu market so quickly?" "No, this is the Qingfeng town that I passed by before. There are many interesting things in this town." Xia Lulu's face turned bitter. "Xiao Bai, it's over. We went the wrong way again. We want to go to the Yunlu market, not here. Right now, Tang Ao might not even know that we're here. I finally caught up to you. The speed of the Heaven Horse is indeed extraordinary." Tang Ao appeared beside Xia Lulu, panting a little. Traveling at full speed, Tang Ao could not take it anymore. Tang Ao also started to consider whether or not he should cultivate a powerful escape technique, or find a fast mount. Brother Tang Ao, did you also go the wrong way?" Xia Lulu was pleasantly surprised to see Tang Ao, but then asked doubtfully. Tang Ao was speechless. He had chased after Xia Lulu because he saw that she had gone the wrong way. How could he have gone the wrong way? There seems to be a small town below. Let's go down and rest for a day. We'll continue our journey tomorrow. In the ice and snow plain, there were not many small towns like this. However, these small towns could almost be regarded as markets. Since he had encountered it, Tang Ao naturally had to walk around and see if he could get some wooden ice fruits. Now that Tang Ao's spiritual sea had recovered a little, the small portion of the wood ice fruit was just a drop in the bucket for Tang Ao. However, Tang Ao would never complain about having too many wood ice fruits. The more his spiritual sea could recover, the stronger Tang Ao would become. How could Tang Ao refuse such a good thing? Previously, when Tang Ao was traversing the mountains and ridges, he did not find this small town. And Xiao Lulu nodded obediently, and then said to the heaven horse, "Little White, thank you. You can go back and rest." "Your Highness, I'm really sorry for flying the wrong way. Don't worry about it." After the heaven horse sent Xiao Lulu to the ground, its body flickered with white light, and then it turned into countless light spots and dissipated. Not far from Tang Ao and Xiao Lulu, a group of 5 people looked at Xiao Lulu, who was beside Tang Ao with fiery eyes. I thought we wouldn't be able to complete the mission this time. I didn't think that we would still meet the little princess of the brilliant dragon tribe outside the Cloud Foothill mountain range. But what's up with that kid beside her? Why haven't I seen him before? Seeing that his spiritual power isn't obvious, he probably isn't someone powerful. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.